Get too far. And my mama said I'm special. If I don't trust you, shoot your metro. Future looking bright, nigga got that glow. Professor X, nigga, all the gifts I show. My life like a movie shot off the hit show. Me and Bless Hands make a bitch get low. James Willis, DJ CEO. Dave hit record, now we on beast mode. Let's go.
All right, welcome back to the Hit Show Podcast. We live. Hey, you know what? We got some special guests in the building from TikTok. The Cousins Chat is in the building. I'm proud to have them here. This is their first time on the Hit Show. I'm telling y'all got to check them out on TikTok. We got Tanisha and Sonya. How y'all doing this evening?
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for coming in. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about the Cousins Chat and where they can find y'all before we get started.
Okay, so we have this platform called the Cousins Chat. We talk about adult conversation. We get into topics, tough topics, hard conversations. Our live is on Tuesdays and Thursdays now from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Standard Central Time, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. specific time. And we'd like to have you guys come and join us sometime for some good conversation. We do have a sponsor. Our sponsor is Confident Co Luxury Realty. And they enable us to give away prizes and gifts. And so we like to also share with our guests. Sometimes when we have guests on the panel, we like to gift them for giving us their time. So come join the conversation.
Appreciate it. And
absolutely. Nice to be here.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just adding to what Sonya said. It's a pleasure to be here, share our ideas and opinions. Please come and join us on TikTok and share your opinions as well. Let's go.
All right. Y'all know Chef Darius at the top.
Hey, Darius.
And my main man at the bottom, Jonathan Lefred. Yeah, the controversy king, I call him. Yes, sir. My guy right there. He be stirring up a lot of shit. I love it, though. All right, well, we got to get into this first subject. We just talked about it many times. Accountability. Now, I was listening to y'all the other night, and I believe I heard Tanisha say that we can't hold women accountable for what they wear if we don't know them. And that was a good point. I give it to her. I could argue with that one.
I can argue with that one, too.
I know you can. But the thing is, let me bring this picture up. This is what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Chef Darius posted this a couple times, right? You know, her and Russell Wilson was at an event and she had the dress on it. I think the dress looked nice and everything. But a lot of men disagree with her wearing the dress, right? Because they like, hey, she's married. She shouldn't be showing her body on the internet. So everybody's opinion different. My opinion on it is, hey, if somebody's like that with their husband, I feel like men shouldn't have a say so if this woman is married and her husband's right there with her and secure with it. I don't think it should be an issue. That's my opinion.
We've talked about that before, though, James.
But
we had this conversation before.
I could see if she was revealing with nobody around her and it just everywhere. But when she's with her husband, she has her security right there. You know what I'm saying?
But
So,
you the word that you're using right now is security. That's what you're using right now, right?
yeah.
Now think about this though. It's so many insecure men out there. The majority of the men that we're saying that are completely insecure. And the thing that they have to take in accountability is this. Russell Wilson is a very soft-spoken man. He's quiet. He's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's his wife. He's a completely different person than Future, the gay man that wears dresses. So on that note, first of all, they are very successful in both of their respective professions. No man should have an opinion on another man's wife. He's comfortable with his wife. So I feel like the men that were saying this are insecure and they would have a problem with their wife. If I'm right there with her or if she's out there with her girls, I know when she's She's coming back to me. I have no problem with her wearing that. And it wasn't distasteful. It wasn't like you could see anything. It wasn't revealing. Men had a problem with that because they're insecure. Because 90% of the people, they done did something in their relationship, or they've done something in previous relationships to make them feel like that. They think that the woman's gonna cheat on them because most of them are cheating on their women. So that's why they're gonna feel like that. But at the end of the, go ahead, my bad.
No, that's a good point, but let me get Tanisha's perspective on that.
Well, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, and it goes back to what you said in the opening of the discussion we were having before we went live. When it comes to accountability, conversations have to be had. I think they're very necessary. But the error and the problem with conversations around accountability is that typically women don't listen to random men, right? We will submit ourselves to the idea of the man that we're with, or our father, our son, people that we are close to. So when we're having these public forums of accountability, like you said, that's Russell Wilson's wife, right? If he's okay with it, there's no way you can change her mind. So the idea that I was challenging, in this conversation was just that in order to effect change, you have to be in a position to effect change. And when it comes to accountability, people have to consent, right, for you to have that over them, or else you're wasting your breath. It's just good for conversation. So that's what I was saying to that point. Me personally, as a woman, married or not, that would not be my chosen outfit. Because if we are saying that we're not our body, then we also need to, we need to model our lives like that. But the problem with the music industry is you go with the flow of traffic, so to speak, right? You don't get to have your own opinion and your own stance, and we know that. So typically I don't talk about celebrities because they're going to do what celebrities do, which is stay relevant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add to that because it sounded like also for somebody to hold another person accountable, the other person has to have some type of level of respect for you. Sounds like also.
Right.
And
Yeah. Well, that's the consent. So if you're my man, then there's an understanding there. There's a relationship. If
yeah,
you're just random men on TikTok, it'd be one, it could be 100. It's not going to change who I am or who I show up as in the world or what I choose to do with myself or my body or my opinions.
got you.
I
Okay.
absolutely agree.
I gotta get Breezy's perspective because she's sitting up there looking. I know she got something to say. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
James,
I'm waiting on her to go ahead.
why are you picking on me like this, James?
I'm
Why
not
you
picking.
doing like that?
I know you. You waiting to say something. Go ahead. You waiting.
Well, I think it's multidimensional. So actually, right before I got on this camera, I stopped. I put a shirt on, and I was like, "Is this inappropriate to wear on camera?" And he was like, "No, who cares? Like, come on." And because sorry to say it, I don't really wear bras, right? Like for what? What are you gonna wear a bra for?
Listen.
So I'm like, damn, are you gonna be offended if I do this on camera? Now, I'm respecting him by asking him, but if it doesn't align with what my values are, I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm lucky that I go do photo shoots and I might be in lingerie. My man doesn't have a problem with it.
You got to know who you dating and dealing with. So as far as Russell, he knows he's dating a star like a Hollywood socialite that has to go to these events and partake in whatever the festivities may be. And that includes dressing, revealing, even like making the songs. So for instance, I like to troll. So when Sierra had her last song, she had posted a snippet of, I think it was like champion independent woman or something. She got a lot of flack for it. They dragged her. But that just goes to show, even though she may be in the music industry, that's not her real whole life. You know what I'm saying? She still has her personal things going on. She has to cater to what the industry may want, and they do want to see women like they like to bring the frequency down. So she has to make low frequency music. So
I think that of course we're consistently subjected to nudity and promiscuity and things like that, but I also think understanding that we are energy for sure, but we're a physical body and we're here for this physical realm. And as you understand that your beauty is not necessarily your body, but it is an asset. So, and ain't nothing wrong with being proud of what you got, because listen, you ain't never gonna be this young. Tomorrow you're gonna be a bit older and you're gonna be you appreciated what you had back in the day. Now, whether he's around me or not, whoever, I'm going to dress however I want. We'll have a conversation about this is how I feel, but having respect for yourself also means staying true to what is right for you. So,
I think a lot of people don't have, I think a lot of, to touch on what you said, part of the issue that we have when it comes to celebrity life and day-to-day life is that people cater to what sells. And we've said this before on another podcast, and I'm gonna just use it again. We all remember the 80s, the Doublemint twins. The only reason they were relevant was because they were some blonde-haired, blue-eyed twin, beautiful women. Now, we all know that sex sells everything. And in this day and age, sex sells anything. Sex sells music. Like if you have sex appeal in some aspect, you could say you could sell music. And there's been numerous stars out there that have talked about how the industry controls what they do. I feel like with Russ and with Rihanna, with Sierra, with even with LeBron and his wife, they don't feed into it. They don't have a lot of controversy in their life. They're bosses in their industry, and what has made them stand out is that they don't have a lot of controversy. They do what they want to do, and they make their own moves, which has not really caught on. What's caught on is, oh, I got to dress like this. I got to wear this. I got to show my ass. We even see this on social media all the time. Every time a female posts a picture, they got to show their butt. They got to, you know what I'm saying, to get some sort of attention because they think that's what we want in society. Even with the picture, you know, she's turned around, she's looking back. You know, a lot of people had issues with that. Nobody is taking in accountability of that picture. They were happy in that picture. They were cool. It's like, hey, this is our day-to-day. This is our life. The problem with the day-to-day is that everybody wants to live that life. Everybody wants to try and live above their means so that they can create something that they can't keep up with, but they want it anyway because guess what? This is what society is. Let's make ourselves look great. I got the great body. I got the great smile. I could cook, I could clean, and all this other stuff, but they fail at personality and they fail at what it really takes to make a relationship successful. They look at a picture and they think that life is great. They don't understand that behind the scenes there was work that took between the two of them for them to get to that point to where they could take that picture like that and be comfortable with each other to take that picture like that.
Well, the thing is with the internet, right? Even if they weren't comfortable, with the internet, there's so much fake shit and so many fake relationships. Half the shit you see on the internet with these relationships are put together by the industry. Two people some of them ain't even in relationships, and men is putting the dresses on and women putting on revealing stuff just because they're forced to do it. And a lot of them ain't happy, and a lot of it is bullshit.
That's a problem with self, though. That's not a problem with the industry. That's a problem with self.
It's not going to be self because when you sign that contract, you do what they tell you to do.
But whose fault is that?
That's their fault.
Exactly. So that's a problem with self.
So can we say it's accountability, or do we have to say that's my job to do it?
It's not your job. What it is how I want to be forecasted, how I want to be presented, and how I want the world to see me as a person. How do I want to get my message out there to people, and how do I want them to make me relevant? That's a problem with them. I don't care what the contract says. I don't care what I signed. At the end of the day, I am a man. There's no way that you are going to have me wear a dress, kiss another man, do anything outside of who I am, because at the end of the day, when I look in the mirror, I'm happy with self. They can't be, there's no way you can tell me that you're a grown-ass man, that you're a grown, straight man.
Here it goes.
You can look in the mirror and tell me that you are happy wearing a dress, You're happy wearing. You're happy. You're happy kissing a man. Drake is not happy. All his relationships have been pen written. He wasn't in no relationship with Nicki Minaj. He wasn't in no relationship with none of them. He's
That's
the
what I was
softest.
saying. It's all
He's the,
fake. It's a
but that's why I'm saying it's a problem with self. That is your image is you are a weak ass man, and you will do anything that it takes to get your money, and that's it. You're not willing to be yourself and have the world accept you for who you are.
Okay, let me get Sonya's perspective on all this accountability thing, because it sounds to me more like the image we see on the internet with celebrities. I was saying, off Anisha first said, a man that don't know you can't hold you accountable, right?
He can't, and he can't.
But now it sounds like it's more than just accountability. It's like these people are forced to dress like this and act like this on the internet. Let me get
let me explain something to you. Okay, let me say it like this. I believe there's three types of women, female, right? There's wives, there's concubines, and there's whores. Russell Wilson, he married a whore. It's obvious he married a whore, and she behaving like a whore. She have changed the standard on the things that men should allow their wives to do because she's doing it in the public eye. I don't care what you do, there's a standard for everything. And what she doing right now is she gonna cause a lot of problems in homes and stuff because she's a wife to a multi-millionaire that just purchased her a baseball team and all types of things. He played stepdaddy. He gave her everything she wanted. She said she wanted in a man. He bought her a baseball team, invested in her future, and she's still behaving like a whore. She is setting the standard for how wives should behave in America. That's what she's doing. That's why this place is Babylon. This is the mighty Babylon they speak about in the Bible, because whores are pretending like they wives and they sneaking into God's kingdom.
Explain whore, because I do not agree with being a whore. Like there's no way that you can really say that she's a whore based on the way that she dressed. Like she put on something that she was standing next to her man with. I can't say that she's a whore because I don't know what you do behind closed doors. I could say before you had him, you had a bitch ass nigga. We all know Future's a soft ass chump nigga. I can't say that she's a whore because at the end of the day, she's not doing anything whore-ish. Just because you dress a certain way, because at the end of the day, that means that somebody, because I wear a suit and tie, somebody can say I'm a leader. Because I wear a jersey and a headband, they can say I'm a thug. We cannot get to that point to where we are profiling people just off the way that they look.
Yeah, you do.
Because you can't.
When a person got on a police uniform, you go up to them, you're gonna ask them for police assistance.
What if it's a costume?
But she dressed like a whore. She dressed like a whore.
Hey, let's get the lady's perspective. Sonya, let's get her perspective. And then I'm going to go back to Tanisha.
Well, I was listening to everybody's different perspective, and I agree with a lot of it, and some of it I got my own opinion about. I know, being a person that have been in the entertainment industry, you still have to take accountability for yourself and the choices that you make. I was listening to a young man talk about it doesn't matter what the contracts say. Well, first of all, you have to read the contract to know what you're obligated to. That's number one. You have to read the contract and you have to agree at that point what your limits are. And sometimes that could cost you the contract, but that's the choice you have to make. And that's you taking accountability for what you will and will not do. As far as Ciara and and the way she dressed, she is an entertainer, and her being an entertainer is not a reflection on how she is as a wife. We're not behind closed doors, so we don't know how she is as a wife. We don't know what their conversations are. We don't know what they do behind closed doors. All we know is that she's an entertainer, and most entertainers, they're going to show more cleavage. They're going to do certain things because, as the young man said earlier, we know this is an industry where sex sells. It definitely sells. Now, as far as if her husband is comfortable enough with it or not, only he could say that. None of us could say if he's comfortable with it or not. We do know that he's an entertainer because of sports, and she's an entertainer because of her music. So when you have people that are in the industry and they are married, 9 times out of 10, there is an understanding there. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're okay with it, but it's an understanding there. It's just like and I know it's kind of on the same subject, but not. But even if you look at Megan Good and her husband, her career came between their marriage because of his career. He is a celebrity minister.
Good point.
And the way that she conducts herself in movie roles and the way she presents herself sometimes on camera was a conflict of interest with his ministry. And it's not that he didn't love her or that he didn't support her, is that his people, the congregation, bullied her because of what she wore. He had to correct somebody one time on a talk show when a woman was saying, you need to cover that up. And he said, she don't have to do nothing. But that is one of the things that happen with couples in the music or the movie industry, in the entertainment industry, period. They have to have an understanding with each other, but sometimes because of the public, it will still drive a wedge between them. I've seen Beyonce in revealing clothes and Jay-Z right there by her side. Nobody really said anything about that though. So it just is about people's perspective and what they see and what they feel is acceptable and what they feel is not acceptable. But that person themselves has to feel responsible for what the choices are that they make. When I was in the entertainment industry, I got propositioned a lot. I chose not to take none of those offers because I felt like I had to respect myself enough to look myself in the eye, and I had a son. So I had to be able to look my child in the eye. And some of the things that they were requesting of me was not in my character, and I wasn't going to change who I was just to fit in. So that's my spill on it.
Hey, Jane, let me say something.
Go ahead.
Okay. The difference between, I say the difference between Beyonce and Russell Wilson is this. All of Beyonce kids are Jay-Z's kids. What Russell Wilson has been called a simp and it took a lot of backlash for humbling himself as a millionaire and humbling himself to clean up behind, because let me tell you something about Ciara. I know Ciara. She's from Atlanta. I know her. I know her aunt. I know everybody. And she slept with a lot of people in the industry early on, including Bow Wow, 50 Cent, everybody. Okay? So this man humbled himself and became a stepfather and did a lot of things that a lot of people said he wouldn't do. He humbled himself. So by him humbling himself, it don't look good for her to have that on. I'm just going to be honest with you. For me, being a man, but look, ain't no right or wrong answer to this. She his wife, right? I know people that swing. I would never allow my wife to be no swinger or nothing, but it's people that do that, and that's what they enjoy. That's their thing, but I wouldn't. So it's really up to the husband and the wife, everybody else's background noise. So if he don't got no problem with it, it's cool. But as a man, he looked weak to me. He always looked weak to me. But hey, he looked even weaker. And she know what she doing. She ain't, there ain't no mistake she making. She know what she doing. She know exactly what she doing. They are making a roll call right now. They making a roll call showing this is how you treat motherfuckers. This is how you treat
So
when you get a chance, let me throw a monkey wrench in it. Like, go ahead. I'm my bad. I just
but I want to make a point to both y'all points, because you're saying Future is a weak man, Jonathan, and Cheyenne is saying that Russell is a weak man. What are the traits and the actions that are y'all seeing out of these two gentlemen to call them weak men?
First of all, Future is soft as shit. He's a cupcake. He wears dresses and fingernail polish and lip gloss. He's a girl. Second off, Future is the same person that got on there and was like, yeah, the reason I make this music is because the public want. Like, nigga, you got a college degree, bro. You could clearly do, and you clearly know bigger words than the bullshit that you put out there.
Yeah.
Future is a garbage ass. Future is a garbage ass nigga. And your personality, how you are in real life, like, cause I've met him in real life a few times, and he's a timid ass little bitch. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you might smoke weed, but at the end of the day, you not who you portray yourself to be in real life, and the way you treat and the way you treat women makes you soft as shit, because that's not who you really are. When you around men, you are really a soft ass nigga. And that's why I say that, because I've been around him in real life. Timid, sit in the corner, can't really talk. But when you talk around weaker men, when you talk around men that don't have your type of money, and they feel like they are starstruck, and they feel like, oh, that's when you want to come out and act like you a hard ass nigga. But when it comes down to like you really being a hood nigga, like really being around niggas that, nigga, I don't give a fuck about your money, niggas, we'll rob you. You really are a little soft ass nigga. And I don't like bullies. He tried to, at one point he tried to like bully Russ, like, because Russ is, I don't really consider Russ a simp, because at the end of the day, he took on a responsibility that he didn't have to take on. He's raising a child. He created the environment for his wife to where she can flourish. I cannot call that man a simp, because at the end of the day, he took the package and gave his wife what he wanted.
Can I counter that?
Hey, I gotta. Hey,
Wait a minute, Dane, let me counter that.
You know what I'm about to say? Go ahead.
No. Listen, this is why I call him a simp, because he was dating Ciara, right? He started posting pictures with Future's son to fuck with Future, and he was doing that because Ciara guided him, told him that was okay, and she was only dating him at that time. That was not cool to do that, because I didn't even know that she was even not with Future at the time. I thought she was still with Future. But days after breaking up with Future, she got another man around his son saying, Ciara, if I marry you, I'm changing your son's name and all this shit. They just they were just fucking with that man, because I didn't seen women do that before.
I was about to say, Daryl, that's a good point, because you could do all the stepfather activities, but you don't got to champion it and throw it in people's face and make it a public hoorah. Just do the work. So for the pictures and the stunts and shit, I feel you on that. That may be a sign of Ciara more so than Russell, though.
Yeah.
But Future was doing the same shit, though. Future was trolling him too, talking about
Future definitely was trolling him in the music. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? We could look at it both ways, but he put a ring on her finger and gave. Like I've said this before, if you want a wife, you have to create the environment for your wife to flourish. I've said it before. When my grandmother passed in 2006. My granddad was in a nursing home. I went home to take over the house, and I watched the house die. I'm talking about I went to work, came home, back porch fell off. Like, when women create that love in that environment, it flourishes, and that's what he did. Future is a girl. He's not going to be able to create that environment for her to flourish in. He's a lady. My only thing is this is like, and to Cyan, like, this is my thing though. This is my thing. If a woman, when we profile people like this, when we say, okay, she was a whore, she slept with this person, she slept with that person, okay, that's cool. But there's a point where we all mature and we wake up and we realize this is not what I want to do anymore. This is the problem with the felon society, because
when they do that, they don't dress like she was dressed.
But listen, this is the thing. It's the same way with a felon. When somebody goes to jail and the world points the finger at them like, oh, they stole this, they stole that. They might have went to jail and changed their life. But guess what? When we sit there and point the finger at them like, they did this, they did that, they did this, so what? What does it matter what the person did yesterday? We have to start looking at people for who they are today. She is a wife. She has a child. She's doing good in her profession. He's doing good in his profession. Future is a hoe ass nigga. We know that. I'm not defending this simp ass nigga because he's a chump. And for Future to keep coming at him when he's married. Yeah, you married your baby mom. You married his baby mom, but nigga, you not even taking care of the child anymore because Russ is. Let's talk about that shit. Because he ain't doing shit.
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. Let me explain something to you. People are saying Future's a deadbeat because Future got 9 kids. Well, listen, brother. Wait a minute. Future is worth $200 million. In America, it's impossible to be a deadbeat when you're worth $200 million because child support is going to come regardless. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Wait.
Child support does not have to do with you taking care of your child. You're worth $200 million. Okay, you're worth $200 million. Mm-hmm. Let's just take an accountability. When was the last time this nigga had a hit? He ain't had a hit. So nigga, you
Who,
ain't doing no
Future?
fucking work. Future ain't had a hit in years.
He got an album with Drake. That was number one.
So
But that don't
what?
matter.
He got an
Go ahead,
album
I'm
with the
listening.
Drake. We're talking about Future having a hit. So
Hey,
the future of you
That
ain't
way for you
shit,
just
so
went
take care
platinum.
of your kids.
So
Take care
I
of your
was,
child, bro.
He
Like,
do
at the end of
take
the day, you
listen,
he
brother. From what
don't.
I can see, he do take care of his child because all his Christmas pictures is at his mansion with all his kids, and that includes Sierra's son.
So
So
one
she's just
time out
saying
of
a
the
lot
year
of
you
that for
take a picture
spite.
with your kids, that means taking care of your family.
Brother,
That child is
brother.
still your family.
But listen. Based on his career, it's kind of he traveled around the world at least half a year. Money is financial. His money is the way he gonna take care of his child. I
And
don't
Russ
know.
get paid to
but that
play
doesn't make
15
money
games.
doesn't make him not
Right.
a deadbeat.
But you gotta
What makes him a deadbeat? That's what I
Yeah,
want to know.
well, that's what I want to
we
know from you. What
let
do you think? What is the definition of a deadbeat? Is it a man that
A
doesn't
man that
take
don't
care of
take
their
care of his
child
child.
financially, or a man that doesn't take care of his child? Period.
Both.
Because you can have a man that will give a child money all day long, but if that man is not pouring into that child, he's still a deadbeat.
Then there's a lot of U.S. soldiers that's deadbeats then, because
Hey,
they
listen.
not home with their family.
No.
They overseas.
Listen.
No,
Good
it's the
point.
same.
That's
That's a
a good
lie.
point.
This is
I
what
got
I
That's a
think.
lie. I'm a vet. I'm a
This-
vet.
A lot of
And I
U.S. soldiers
still
are
was
deadbeats
able
then,
to
because
make
they
sure
overseas making their money.
that I took care of my child. Even when I was in Japan for a year, I was still able to talk to my son. I was still able to come home and
You
deal
say-
with my son. My son
That's
is
what Future
19.
do, brother.
My son, no, he don't. Listen,
Yes, he.
Future does
Listen,
not raise
all
his
his other
child to be
baby
a man
mamas
because
said.
you got to be
Hold
around
up.
your
Y'all
child.
going back and
You
forth
got to be
like y'all
around
y'all
your child
both
to
know
raise
the
him.
ins and outs of Future's daily life. I don't think y'all know the ins and outs. Y'all don't know when he
I don't think
FaceTiming
people
people
being
throughout
fair
the
to
day
him.
or whatnot.
I'm
So
not gonna
y'all
be fair
can't
to
say he
some.
is or he isn't.
but
I'm
I
not
have
gonna be fair to some lame ass nigga that you worth $200 million and you know you got boys, and especially with the black men. And we all know as black men, we have it harder than any other man. And I ain't talking about no fucking Africans. I'm talking about black men have it harder than any other man. We have to be there to guide our child, to teach them how to be men. Now, the problem with Future, I don't give a fuck how much money you have. If you are not relevant in that child's life, if you are not standing there, if you are not guiding that child, fuck your weak ass music, because it's weak. You talk about the same shit in any other album, and
Hold
nigga,
on.
you don't even smoke weed or do Molly or none of the
That's
other
right.
shit,
He's telling
and
the
you
truth.
making Molly
Wait a minute.
Percocet.
No, he's
So
telling
fuck
the
your
truth.
music.
He telling
Let's
the truth.
hold on
I
right
know
there.
meathead. Future
This
don't
the
do
thing
that.
though
He's right.
with
He's telling the
Future.
truth.
Hold on. He's been one of the top artists for the last 10
I
years.
was about to say, James,
Hold
because
on.
yeah.
Anybody that's been in any type of entertainment, music, for one, they don't get off seasons like football players, right? This dude could be gone for 10 months out the year. He don't get time off like Russell would get time off.
Yep.
They consistently tour. They consistently got to record. He might be in Europe for 4 months. He can't be around like Russell. Russell can be at home every day. And this is another thing. Everybody want to jump on Future.
Sierra.
Nobody jump on the women that have
Sierra,
sex with
good
this
point.
man
Read my
with no
mind.
condom, knowing how many kids he got, and then have the nerve to say, "Oh, you a deadbeat." Well, you a deadbeat too, because you knew who the nigga was and you fucked him raw, had a kid. So that makes you a deadbeat too. You part of
As
the
a
problem.
as
But
a
listen,
man,
though,
though,
No,
you
our
got to
job.
look at both
that comes
aspects
back to
of it.
accountability.
If
That
Exactly.
comes back
Future,
Where's
that
their
comes back to
accountability?
accountability.
They looking for the bag. That's all that was.
James, you a
They
good
would call him a
James,
deadbeat.
but James, look at it like this. You a good dad, and I see you with your kids all the time, right? So
Yeah.
if your job, if your career took you away from your kids, you will be hurt, right? Just answer as a man, you will be
Yeah,
hurt,
but
right?
my
But no. There's no
first thing,
but.
I gotta provide as a man. Money is
You
first.
gotta provide as a man, but this is the but. This is the but. Future worth $200 million does not have to keep making music. You don't. You can
You don't
provide
know
for
what
your
his
kids and you can
contract
be
is.
there.
He on
He's got
contract.
a
Can I just say
He
something?
on
got a
contract.
college
He gotta
degree.
make music. That's his
He's
job.
got
Right.
a college degree.
Come on, man. You got to be
but
kidding.
listen, you keep bringing up that point. What about Sierra making independent women music and about being single and stuff? Like,
And
you
man,
gotta realize
Because
these
she's a
artists gotta
whore.
compromise themselves
She's
to
a
make this money.
whore.
They all do it. They all compromise themselves
I
to
ain't
make money.
lying for these
And
hoes no
Future
more.
has a formula. He sticks to it. You made a good point though about him pushing pills and all that to the community. You don't even do that shit, nigga.
That's
But
in his
I
the
don't even like
consumers
Future.
asking for that. And
I
if
don't
you are
even
a
like
businessman and the
Future, but I'm
consumers
telling
are
the truth.
asking for something, you're gonna give them that.
we don't
Can I
have
just say
to
one
have-
thing?
Go ahead.
I heard like 15 excuses as to, first of all, we don't know what happens with Future and Russell. We don't know why he was posting that stuff back in the day. Future already, we know a little bit of how ignorant he was, but we don't know how far it went. So we should stop even judging what happens on social media because it's all fake and for clout anyway. But I just heard like 76 excuses as to why Future wouldn't be able to see his children. But if I was a woman who had to travel for work, I would still have to see my children. And if I was not seeing my children, I would definitely get dragged across the street. Like, oh, she's a deadbeat mom. She don't even be with her children. And if you got that many millions, what you can do is fly your babies out to wherever you at. And they can come get homeschooling. They could be with you. They could be safe. Like, there's no excuse for you to be a deadbeat dad, especially if you got millions of resources to be able to see your child, spend time with your child, reach your child, anything.
Pour into that child. And I agree with her point because I was a traveling mom and I put my child in homeschool so that she could be with me when I was traveling. So she's right. If you got millions of access to millions of resources to be able to pour into your child, you can pour into your child. Now, I know that every kid can go on the road and go on tour with their parents, but at some point in time, you have to pour into your child. Money is one thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was me. I've even talked to him, like when we really start doing like traveling stuff, how that worried me about like, how are we going to make sure we're okay with the kids? And he was like, our babies are coming with us. And he's like, you can even you want to look at other couples? There are couples that do this. Our babies are coming with us.
Figure that shit out.
And now anytime that I'm planning travel, I'm like, hey, I could make this a vacation for my babies. And now they have 2 different homes. So of course they have to, factor that part in, but the babies could be with them for sure.
Thank you for that. Shout out to my podcast and buddy, Dating and Marriage Support. Thank you so much. Let me touch on that. And then Tanisha's been waiting patiently. We're going to give her the floor. But what I want to say to that, y'all all made good points. But this is what I will say. For one, how do we know Future doesn't fly his kids out when he's somewhere? And
that's my point.
That's what I'm saying.
And with the work he does and the type of schedule he's on being in the entertainment industry, he might not want his kids while he's performing at clubs and strip clubs. And he might not want his kids in that environment, even though he talk about his music. And this thing, listen, even though like John said, I'm a good dad. I work 2 jobs and do a podcast. And my kids live 15 minutes away. I don't see my kids 4 or 5 times a month. And I work a lot. This dude is over in another country. He can't be around his kids that much. So I think we're not giving him enough credit. We give Russell all the credit because he stepped in.
No,
said,
because the woman said this shit.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Just because Russell stepped in and said, hey, I'll do everything to make you happy and you don't have to worry about nothing, automatically make Future look bad.
Yep.
And not saying I'm not saying Sierra has the right to be happy. Sierra has the right to be happy, and Russell had good intentions. I feel like Russell had good intentions on being a stepfather, a father, and a husband. But when you get a woman like that that's already broken, she's gonna take all of that and throw it in your face and make you look like you're the bad guy when she laid down with you and had sex with you unprotectedly and knew you had other baby mamas before that. So
how many other baby mamas do he have? How many other baby mamas do he have? How many other baby mamas do he have?
I don't know, but he got like 9 or 10 kids.
Exactly. So you got 9 or 10 different baby dads. How are you as Future not a fucking whore? Because we can't call Sierra a whore if we're not calling this hoe ass nigga Future a whore too. Right. Because nigga, you got 9 or 10 other different baby mamas, and you still out here skeeting in every fucking body.
They all whore. They all whore. We not gonna say Future. Come on now.
I'm just saying we can't point the finger at one person and not point the finger at the other person.
Darius called me a hoe in the show last year. He said I'm a hoe. Hell. Fuck, we all hoes here.
This is the part that we can't ignore, right? These people have money, they have resources, they got private planes, they have access to all these women, access to all the options in the world, right? So I just think it's a very creative idea when we try to take the standards of society, like celebrities, and we try to put them on regular people. That's why I don't subscribe to the labels about people being hoes, and they, like you said, they all a hoe. So why are we talking about them? They live in their life, they're making their money, right? But when we take those ideas and opinions and we try to put them on regular people and women who have children that are in our society who don't have those options, right? they would be bigger hoes than any woman out here, because here you have access to do whatever you want, and this is what you choose to do with yourself, be it for fame or be it for money or whatever. You choose to have 10 baby mamas when you literally have the money and the resources to sit down and settle with one person and build the Black family, right? That's what we always talk about after. So the thing is with these conversations about accountability, it's all about the purpose intended, right? So these people are under contracts, they live in a particular life, right, that we don't know ins and outs of. So to talk about their ins and outs and apply them to our lives is never going to lead to a productive solution, right? So that's why we can't say, okay, women who are undressed like Ciara are hoes, right? Women who have children by other men like Ciara, are not wife material. Like, all of that is just information. I heard Cyan say it's background noise, because when it comes to the women and the men in our community, we don't have those resources, so we can't apply those same standards, right? Because there very much is a reason why a woman.
James, let me say something. James, wait a minute. She's a mother. Listen, Future having which one you think gonna affect the kids more? Future having 10 baby mamas, or they mama out there with her ass out, and he get made fun of in school, and then he
Future
grew up and have an issue that he don't know how to
address.
address. At the end of the day, Ciara is somebody's mother. She's bigger than an entertainer. If she didn't have no kids or nothing like that, I'd be like, hey, do your thing. And she was a
But
young
he's a
lady
father,
that had
though.
no
He's
kids,
a father, though. So what's the difference?
Right.
She is somebody's mother, and it's on the.
Can I actually say this part?
We gotta stop taking the difference between a mother and a woman a mother and a father, because at the end of the day,
but it's a difference.
They're both parents. It's not a difference.
It
it's
is
only
a
a difference because it's not a difference because society says it's a difference. But if you're both parents in the household, you're both held to accountability of what you do out here in society. They're both influential in our society, and the reason why we have these conversations is because of what you put out there. What people do. People wear Balenciaga who ain't shit. We have never heard of Balenciaga before, but because these weird ass motherfucking stars talk about Balenciaga, because these weird ass entertainers talk about these different type of drinks and different kind of clothes and stuff that we wear, people go out there and they live above their means to be in the same society, to brush their clothes, to wear the clothes, to drink the drinks, to drive the cars that these punk ass stars wear. That's the problem. That's why we look at it like that, because we like, goddamn, this nigga ain't got a crib, but he got a motherfucking Challenger, because this nigga talk about, I got a motherfucking SRT on 28s and shit. You living on your girl's couch and shit with a Challenger with some 28s on there, because Future said that he got a Challenger with 28s on there. So you want to grow dreads, and where there is influential to our society. That's all I'm saying.
This the problem with that. Before you go, hold on. We got to stop saying that, because this is the problem with that. Because I can't agree with you. I'm gonna tell you why. I listen to hip hop, trap music. I listen to everything you can think of. I was raised in the church, and I never did none of that shit they said in the songs, because I knew better. So we can't say it's influence. It's on what you want to do. We can't say, oh, because Future told me to do this, I'm gonna go do it. No, we got to take accountability.
But presenting the information is still harmful too, though. To Jonathan's point, the fact that they putting it out there and presented it for it to be something you could learn from.
Whatever you want.
If you study psychology, it's an absolutely.
That's real.
My wife is not gonna hurt my kids.
Music can influence you.
My wife is not gonna hurt my kids when I'm giving her a stable house and she got to have her ass out. I'm gonna say, no, this gonna hurt my child in the long run, because you hurting the whole family, and you got a stable house and a stable environment with wealth. And I took you when you made mistakes in your life, and I polished you. And this, that's what I see. I'm sorry.
But all you talk about is eyes. You talk about eyes, though, but you're not putting the we into it, and not like she said in the beginning. She said in the very beginning,
it's about the around me dressed like that, she walking the track.
But it's about the conversation that you have in the beginning, and how you guys choose to accept what you do, how you wear, and how you present yourself. That is the thing. Like, I cannot get mad at what Ciara wears when she is standing next to her husband, who she came out of the house like that. He's not weak.
Hey,
Okay.
I
don't
just
look
want
comfortable.
to say,
He's
He
a
don't look
weak
comfortable.
ass
Now, let me
man.
say this for
Sorry.
Breezy go. I'm gonna give y'all my perspective, and all the women about to hate this one. If y'all want me to be brutally honest, if you look at Russell and the way he acts, even if he said, "I don't want you to wear that," she's gonna wear that. He doesn't
me
look
too.
comfortable. He doesn't look comfortable in the pictures. I'm not saying, but the problem is with a man like Russell, she's gonna wear what she wants to wear and do what she wants to do. That's just how it works with her.
So I can speak to that. I can speak to that.
Go ahead.
This is what I'm going to say. It depends on how a man presents what he says to a woman. If a man say, you ain't walking out the house like that, I don't care what you do, you ain't putting that on. A woman automatically is going to get defensive, and she's going to automatically want to buck him.
Yep.
But if he talks to her with
She don't know her place.
if he talks to her with love and care and respect, 9 times out of 10, she's going to say, well, okay, baby, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, you might be right. Maybe I shouldn't wear this. And she's going to consider. And I've heard Niche say that plenty of times. Is how he appeals to her, which makes her decide if she wants to submit to his idea.
Decide. So
good.
She can decide to submit after he didn't already.
Good question. She said, Bree, why would you wear it? And she will wear it.
She has to decide to submit after he done all this shit, and they got this by her baby daddy and her
That's
baby.
what I'm saying.
It's all about what you allow, though.
Hold on, though.
I'm appalled.
Hold on. To that, though, you don't know what their conversation is. So we can't say she decided or didn't decide. I'm speaking in general. I'm speaking in general. When a man tells a woman what she can and cannot wear, it's not what he says, it's how he says it, and that's how she's gonna respond.
Because Breezy tried to get snappy and said, I will wear it, but she lying. I would tell her, no, you can't wear that because I ain't comfortable, or
you embarrassing
you
the kid.
And she wouldn't wear
it.
But
that's also the conversation.
She explained that eloquently. She was like, someone who, like, that man who tells you no in that way, you would want to have sex with him. You would think that's sexy because he can dominate you in that way. But the man who's like, baby, listen, and he talks to you, I would have respect for him because he had respect for me in that conversation. But at the end of the day, and he tells me all the time, like, you lightweight selfish because, like, you're gonna serve what your needs are. At the end of the day, I'm gonna respect you and I'm gonna decide how far we want to go with this. But if I bought this dress and it might be low cut, but I don't feel like it's really showing that much and I want to wear it, I'm going to wear that in the end. And maybe we could argue about it later, but you have to also respect that I'm not your slave. But
not
arguing.
Nope.
Me and him,
nope.
I respect his opinion and I would never want to do that. But the thing is about him, I could wear whatever I want. He don't give a damn. But that's only the type of man that I could be with.
But wait a minute.
Confident man. He's not bothered at all.
Ladies, y'all not getting that off.
I'm gonna have my shirt off in front of women and do what I want to do too.
I mean, we talked about there's a festival and some people there are topless. And I was like, do you care if I go topless? He was like, long as you don't care if my dick out. And I was like, well, we'll see how the weekend go. We'll see what happens.
This the thing. So you said, even if you did want, even if he said no, you're going to do it anyway. You know what that means? As a woman, you don't know your place with your man. Because if
that's not true.
No matter if you respect your man, no matter what your man, no matter how he says it, and you know he's uncomfortable, and he says you don't wear that, or he says, baby, you shouldn't wear it. It don't matter how I say it. You get the message. I'm saying I don't want you to wear it. You shouldn't wear it. And if you do still wear it, you don't know your place.
Some men are unreasonable with what they're telling you. Like, oh, you can't even show a little tiny nothing. You're not about to tell me that.
She's speaking to people. She's speaking to a man that's telling a woman she can't wear nothing revealing as far as showing your shape, figure.
Take care of stepkids.
Like, I don't care.
You better.
I don't really care what a woman. I don't really care what she wears, because at the end of the day, my self-esteem, and I'm gonna say it like this because, and I'm gonna just point it at my perspective, because I am a model. I'm a professional model, so I wear all kind of shit when I gotta go down there on the fucking runway. Like, I might be out there in drawers and suspenders with feathers and shit on. Like, I feel like, bro, I've done it. I'm telling you. That's why I use that analogy. I've been down the runway with some suspenders on and some fucking feathers with some little ass drawers on. I've done it. I've been in the model industry for 10 years. I've been best male model for 9 of the 10 years that I've been in the industry. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I do not care what my woman wears because I don't have an insecurity on what another man's perspective is. I don't give a fuck what he say, because at the end of the day, that's my dick, that's her pussy. She's gonna choose who she wants to give it to. There's nothing at all, married, single, anything. There's nothing at all that I can do about it. The only thing I can do is be the best representative of a man that I can be. And so when I go out there and I get up in the morning and I brush my teeth and I wash my face and I look in the mirror and I know that I do everything that I'm supposed to do, that's all. That is all that I can do. I cannot make her do something that she does not want to do. And I don't expect
you don't want to do that.
Make me...
So
Huh?
that's
You don't want to do that. You don't want a woman that you got to make do something. Know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, that's not conducive to your personality type.
We got to open it up so that the woman and the man both have an opinion on how their relationship goes. And that's why what she said in the beginning is that you have that conversation from the beginning. Like, what are your do's? What are your don'ts? What can I do? What can I do? What can I don't? What can I not do? What are your deal breakers? You got to have that conversation in the beginning, because the minute she goes out there and wears something short, and now you having this attitude like, I don't think you wear that. Like, now she's going to be like, well, what the fuck is the problem? Because, nigga, this is what the fuck I wore when you met me.
Right.
And now because we're together, I can't wear this? Like,
Because she's going to be a whore for life.
That's not true.
Right. Say it, brother.
That's not true.
Tell him, put
You
that
think
out
I'll be an
there.
awful wife?
What you wear does not determine who you are.
Yes, it is.
Just stop
It
asking me
does
questions.
not.
Okay, so because
I'm
so
what?
so so if I wear a white t-shirt with some motherfucker with some if I wear a white t-shirt with some jeans and some Air Force Ones, that make me a doughboy?
You'll never see a whore walking the street in a sweatsuit.
No. That's
You
not
gotta
what
show
I'm
that
asking
shit.
you. That's
Yes,
not what
you
I'm
gotta show that
asking you. That's
shit.
not true.
but
That's not
that's
true.
misconception. This
I
is
want you to go to the Blaze, the track, and
Tanisha
tell me
go.
when you see a woman
Hold on.
walking the street trying to sell her shit. And
we have,
women are dressing like whores, and we're saying, why you gotta be a hoe? Nah.
Go ahead. Tanisha.
She's
We
dressing
have-
like whores, and you saying, why she gotta be a hoe? She dressing like one.
we got to start dating and vetting and assessing people for who they are and what they have on, and measuring them up against our personal ideas. That is the problem. Because again, like I said in the beginning, no woman's going to listen to you unless you have a relationship with her. It's all about influence. Like the brother said, yeah, she said that, but she lying. Because if he really thought he didn't have influence, he got up from that chair when she said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the that make the sense. They are figuring it out between each other. So you can't call her anything that he ain't gonna call her, right? Because it's not gonna hold the weight. And so when we come to these conversations about accountability, it's always an assumed awareness. And that's the worst thing you can do. Well, if she had an ass out, she knows she a hoe. No, because that's not what that means to her. And that's not what that means to her man.
Yes.
So when you community and you're trying to find yourself a date, look past her clothes and try to see her heart and her personality. Then you can find a woman that you like and want to be with and have an impression and influence over. Then you can get her to cover it, because there has to be a buy-in. We're not animals, we're not things. Only I buy into what you selling, you buy into what I selling. And only men who look at body is going to let body keep them from a good.
All
Right.
men look at body, especially.
But that's the thing right
That
there.
shit
Like,
sound
we
good.
keep acting like y'all really care about personality, but the girl
We
who got
don't.
the 20,000, 30,000, a million views is the girl who's naked or who's
That's
wearing
right.
these things.
Because that's what we and,
Because they
and,
whores
So what?
in
How are our
Babylon.
men leading?
and when men, that ain't got nothing to do with men leading. That ain't
It
got
does,
nothing.
because
No,
this whole
that's
conversation,
No, it
we're
don't.
demeaning Sierra based
We
on her
haven't-
decisions, but we didn't say, "Oh, well, Future, how are you being a man in society and teaching just
Right.
how are you
He's
carrying
not a
yourself
man.
how a man is supposed to
We
do?
said that.
How
John,
You're not
your
a man.
grandfathers would have done?
we brought it
No,
up.
but also you're like, oh, she a deadbeat because she laid down with a dude who had a bunch of baby mamas. Why is it okay for him to have a bunch of baby mamas? And do you not think that he pursued this young girl in the industry?
come
If
on
we
now.
want to go all the
Oh,
ways,
come
go all the
on.
ways.
You gonna play
Don't
that?
just
Oh,
look
come on, man.
But
He's worth $200 million.
What does that have to do with anything?
You go
That's
She
anywhere
was worth
around
money
the
too. You
world.
think she
Please.
doesn't have talents and
Wait,
gifts
listen,
and skills?
Listen,
In the
you go
com-
anywhere around the world, a man that's worth $200 million got whores, concubines, and a wife. Ain't gonna have a
Broke
lot of
niggas
kids.
got whores, concubines, and a wife.
Women
Look at all
can
the
have
broke ass
whores,
lot of
sleeping on
kids
couches
when they
that
got
got
money.
different baby mamas.
Hmm?
Like that money does not determine
At all.
how many baby mamas you got. My thing with Future is that you can have $200 million and every single one of your 900 baby mamas say that you a bitch ass nigga and you don't take care of your fucking kids.
They fucked
That's
them though.
my issue. But but in reality, niggas fuck and women fuck. And at the end of the day, we have to look at the fact that broke ass, bum ass, fuck boy ass niggas, that we always talk about this, James. We always say the same fuck niggas. This niggas that I know right now that got fucking, they got Challengers and Bentleys and shit like that, that's sleeping on a nigga's couch right now. They got 900 baby mamas, the same as Future, but they don't have the net worth about it. My thing with Future and the thing with Russell is, this is my issue. When you play the game of fucking chess, the queen is the most protected person on that chessboard, and that is relevant in life. And Russell has a queen. Future is still a fuck nigga. He got $200 million, unhappy as fuck, and still out here gotta make music that's not relevant to who the fuck he is. He don't take care of his fucking kids, and all his baby mamas say the shit. He don't motherfucking spend time with them, and all his baby mamas say this shit. So you being worth $200 million ain't worth shit, because you have the opportunity, the money, the time, the relevance to do what the fuck you need to do, and you don't. You're
Listen,
still
brother.
a fuck nigga.
Hold on, let me say something. How many kids does Jay-Z have? I want to ask you that.
He got the 3 that
No, he got
rid of.
outside kids, brother.
He got
And
kids.
he don't take care of them. He don't never see them. Beyonce won't let him go near them. But
So
he
does
don't
Steve
call
Harvey.
Jay-Z.
So
He
does
don't
Steve
call
Harvey.
Jay-Z no fuck nigga.
Yeah,
He got
Steve
outside.
Harvey got a daughter in Cleveland still. He don't fuck with either.
Steve Harvey got about 90 kids in Cleveland right
And
now
we don't want
that
none to
nobody
call
want to
him no
talk about,
deadbeat.
and
Yep.
he's still making movies on Think Like a Man. Set your bitch ass up with them
Yep.
cheap ass suits you wearing, nigga. You got
And
900 kids
Steve
in
Harvey
Cleveland
worth
that you don't take
$400
care of.
million.
Cheap ass.
Exactly.
That's his
Exactly. But that's my point.
That's my point.
I can go down the list on bitch ass niggas that I don't fuck with, because nigga, you not conducive of being a man. I'm just using the people that we're using right now. Future, everybody in the fucking world knows that you a fuck nigga and you soft as shit. Everybody fucking knows that. We know that you don't take care of your kids because every baby mama says the
Brother,
same shit. That's
his
how we
baby
know.
mamas are getting $25,000 a month. How he's not
But
taking
money
care of
has
his kids?
nothing.
That's what I
This
can't
is my
understand.
thing.
Is
This
that
is
all
my
you
thing.
have to do to love your
Money
child?
does not
This-
have
If he
anything to
was
do
a
with you
soldier,
raising your.
If he was a soldier and got deployed and he was overseas for a year, stuck in Iraq fighting the war, nobody would say shit.
But he's
Listen,
not.
But he's not.
That's
That's
He
the
could get
exactly.
I
into
don't know
real
what else to
estate
tell y'all.
tomorrow.
Bro, listen. Let me just give you a prime example.
Okay, I'm
I am a
listening.
war
He
veteran.
take care of
I
his
am a
kids.
war. Listen. I am a war veteran, 3-time war veteran. Afghanistan, Fallujah, and Iraq, and I still was able to make sure that my child had what he needed. I was still able, when I had to use a comm phone to talk to him, I was still able to do that shit. You mean to tell me that some fuckboy ass nigga, that nigga, you do a show for 4 fucking hours, that you can't make time for your child when you're in war? And let me just give you a perspective of war.
No.
Let me no wait. Let me
That's
just give
his
you a
fault.
perspective of war. How war actually works. When I'm out there in the field, I might be out there in the field for 90 days with no communication, and I can't talk to anybody because I don't have a phone. I don't have any communication with the outside world, and they cannot know where the fuck I am. They can know where that bitch ass nigga is, because he ain't no dope boy. He ain't no felon. He got a college degree. He's worth $200 million, and you have access to get yourself where the fuck you need to be, and with your kids. You not in war. War is different, because the enemy cannot know where you are. Your family can't know where you are. When I was out there for 90 days, even when I was here in the States and I had to be out there for 90 days, couldn't nobody communicate with me, because we're doing war games. There is a big difference between being at war and being in the field and being in the service than being a whole ass nigga making bullshit music worth $200 million and not being able to take care of your family. He's a whole ass nigga.
Okay, why you keep going to his music? Okay, you made a good point, but why you got to keep going to his music? Ain't got, but let's be real. You said money ain't got nothing to do with it, but that's why all the women slept with him. But let me get dating the support lady died and came in. Welcome to the chat, everybody. If you don't know her, this is Lady Di. Follow her, dating the mayor support. I know you got a lot to say on this topic. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, how are y'all doing?
Hello.
Hey.
I was just literally scrolling to see who was live, and I seen you guys, so I definitely had to stop by and show support. But I just couldn't with the conversation. It was like a real good topic, but I was hearing a lot of stuff, and I was so confused. So I heard somebody say, I don't know who it was, if a lady's wearing, let's say, provocative clothing, you're saying that a guy is supposed to look at her and look past that and look at her heart. I don't know. Someone said that. Now,
Well,
that sounds crazy, don't it? Okay,
I
go
would
ahead.
say yes, because if you see a black boy with a hoodie on and a toy gun, are you supposed to look at him and say that he's a shooter?
Yes,
That's my point.
Yes.
Why?
A little
You
black
look like
boy
a
with a hoodie
thug.
and a toy gun?
Yeah,
What
you look like a thug.
Communication.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
looking
Okay.
to date, if you vetted someone enough to have a date and you come to the date and she's not dressed appropriately, so in your mind, but there were other things, right, before you saw what she had on that you were interested in. Now, if that's your line, then fine. I'm fine with people getting what they want. You can walk away. But if this woman appeals to you in a relationship, right, then it is in your best interest, right, to further vet her, to ask more questions, to see if those things are going to hold up. Now, if you get there and the clothes is all that she is, and maybe she was totally false over the phone, then I get you turning around. My whole point is you have to have influence over someone in order to make changes in their life, because we think that accountability is well, we come to conversations with accountability in mind with an assumed awareness, right? That this woman understands what message she's bringing when she shows up like this. That's not always the truth. It's what she knows, it's what she picked out, it's what she prefers. But she doesn't know, she's not in a relationship to know what that means to a man, right? So if you see other value in her, then nurture that. Then by way she can come an understanding of what message she's bringing when she wears those type of clothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I have to agree.
How men work. Men are visual, and for men, first person everything. So, for men, when we see a woman dressed revealing and you're showing everything, the first thing that comes to our mind is sex. That's how men think.
That's fine.
That's how men think.
I agree.
But
They know
humans
that
in general, though.
I know that shit, bro.
That's how women have been trained.
But not
Listen,
even just women.
I don't
it's
have a
humans in
problem
general
with
now.
that.
We
Here's the
sexualize
thing,
everything.
though. When we get to the table, right? If I'm not looking for just sex, then my conversation ain't gonna be that, and that's gonna be the difference.
But
I
you
wear a
also
bikini to the date.
have you ever heard of dressing accordingly?
Absolutely, and I do. But not all women
sometimes-
have that awareness. This is the part you're missing
But
because
if you
of society,
if you 25,
because of
30,
Future, because
on,
of
man.
Sierra. The commonality is do what you want. So you're going to have people who are going to show up exactly how they want,
but
right?
you can't be mad when a man wants some
whore.
sex when you looking and you have naked showing everything. I
Listen,
mean,
I assume that men want sex. That don't make me angry. I love my femininity, but I don't abuse it. So if I am looking for a relationship, then I'm going to stick to that. But that's because I know who I am. A lot of these women don't know who they are. They come for whatever's on the table to get. That's what you got to be careful of. So when we talk about accountability, know your purpose for meeting up, right? Because you can't get mad at her for offering and sealing the deal on sex.
Exactly.
When
She a whore.
when you
and he a
came,
trick.
but you can't call her names. You the same thing if you just came for sex.
She's a whore and he's a trick, and he let that shit go too far. He married her. Now he gonna embarrass his kids.
But see, you still
So
talking
if you're
about
He's gonna
saying-
fucking embarrass his kids.
So what you're saying, James, is that this is how men think, and that they're naturally going to go for the woman's body. Then naturally, as women,
No.
we would want to provide that to show it to you, right?
but this the thing. I'm not going to go to a police officer and ask him, "Can you help me put out this fire?" We got to use common sense. Let's be real. We dealing with grown ass women. You know damn well if you coming out half naked, what men are going to think. You're taught that as a young girl. Right? Wait a minute. The way you were raised, you two were raised, I'm sure y'all had fathers and mothers. If your shorts was too short, what would your mother say? Go change those shorts. You already know that. So when you're 25 and 30, I don't want to hear, well, you can't come to the table like this. Yes, you can, because you already knew that as a little girl, if you wear that, men are gonna try to do and what they're gonna do.
That's a good
But the
point,
question-
James. But we also
Come on now,
we
let's be
also
real.
have to look at it as like opportunists. Like we're taking that off the table. So a lot of people, men and women, are opportunists.
Absolutely.
And they look for certain opportunities. So when a woman and I'm gonna give you a prime example. Yesterday, because I had a show yesterday, there were women that were out there in swimwear. There were women out there with revealing stuff on, and there were guys, because I had happened to walk out into the audience. There were guys that were like, "Oh yeah, this and this and that. Oh yeah, I would do this and the third," because they saw her in something revealing, and that was just at a fashion show. So my thing is this is what I was trying to get across, is profiling as black men, and I want to say every black man on here. We get profiled all the time. We get profiled by the police. We get profiled when we go into a building. We get profiled by the car we drive. We get profiled by the clothes that we wear. So we have got, as black men, we have got to stop profiling women by what they wear, because that does not determine who they are, because they can look at us the same way. I've had women tell me before, like, "Oh, you dress like this, you dress like that." I'm a hood nigga. I was raised in East Cleveland. I'm going to dress like this, but I can put on a suit and tie. So when I put on a suit and tie and I posted it on my Facebook page, women were like, "Oh, I didn't know you could dress like that." That's not what you're going to get to see me every day, because that's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? I can talk intelligent. I can sit at the table and talk to the hood niggas the same damn way. It doesn't make a difference. But when you look at me and you profile me in a manner of, "Oh yeah, that nigga look like he got a Glock in his car and shit like that," you're profiling me. And when we look at somebody and say, "Oh, she's a whore," because that's the way we dress, we're not doing anything different than what the police do when they see us as black men, than what white people do when they see us as black men, than what the average woman does without having a conversation. And I've used this before and said this like this. A lot of men did not grow up in a day and age where they actually talked to women. A lot of these men leave with their money first, which goes into the tricking thing.
Exactly.
Is, "Oh
we
yeah,
about
let
that.
me buy you a drink. I can do this. I can do that. I can show you this. I can show you that." But you don't even know what her favorite color is. You don't even know what she's interested in. You don't know what
about that. You be honest. At first, we don't give a shit about all that. We don't.
I do.
About your favorite
I
color.
do.
Let's
Because
be
I cannot be.
You don't give a fuck about your favorite color or your favorite song.
I'm not gonna say that because
come on now.
Because I cannot be with a weak ass woman. I can't. If we can't have a conversation.
Come on now.
If we cannot have a conversation, what you have on me. Listen, I'll be 45. I'll be 45 this year, and for me, if I cannot have. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, ain't he? He's stunting tonight.
James not looking for a wife though. James not looking for a wife.
You don't look for a wife in every woman you meet. That don't even make sense.
I'm not saying that I'm looking. I'm not. Listen.
It don't even make sense.
Listen, it's good to look. Just like when you go shopping and you're looking for the eggs and you pick up the eggs and you look for the fucked up ones before you put the good egg back in there. We all do this shit. When I look for a woman, I'm looking for somebody I can have a conversation with and a future with. If I'm looking just to fuck somebody, that's a different aspect.
That's what I was saying. Every woman you approach, you're not gonna be like, "What's your favorite song? Your favorite color?"
That's where I'm saying. What I'm saying is now, in my day-to-day, in my life right now, if I am looking for a woman, I am looking for somebody that I can just, you know what, I can vibe out to and I can chill when I can have a conversation. The problem is we have broken conversation between men and women, and predominantly men, because men leave with their little 50 cents in their pocket at the bar first.
Why?
And women be like, "Oh my God."
Why is that?
Consider this.
I got a question though.
I want Nisha and then Sonya. Why do men? I'm gonna ask the ladies, and then you can ask your question. Why do men leave with their pockets? I'm gonna start with you, Sonya.
Oh, you start with me?
Yep. Why do men?
Because that's what they've been shown. That's what they've been shown.
Thank you.
Consider this.
And that's what women require most of the time. Let's
consider this for conversation, for understanding purposes.
Go ahead.
People are not loyal to people. People are loyal to ideas. Consider that.
That's a good point. That's a really
because
good point.
here's the thing.
Very good point.
It is the idea that money is going to get me women. It is the idea that this woman half dressed is going to give me sex. It is the idea that the man who talks to me crazy is a dominant man, and he gonna dominate me in the bedroom, and he gonna be my husband because he can tell me what to do. All of those ideas is what people are loyal to.
They
Or loyal
subscribe
to.
to that.
And that is the problem, because when we go out to vet people and look for people that we want to be with, we are going through a series of ideas. But so when we meet someone who doesn't match that, then we are at odds with it. And we're always going to choose what we deem to be safe. But here's the problem where the tables have been switched. 600-pound women have men, right?
That's because they got money and benefits. That's
People
why.
who are half
Let 'em
dressed, when
finish.
you come across them, they have loving husbands who care about them. You can't walk up to Russell Williams and tell him his wife is a hoe.
Well,
You know
I
what I'm
can't-
saying? So all of these ideas that we had before are being challenged. And that's why I said, when you come to the conversation, let me tell you something, as men, the best thing that you're going to do is be an influence that she's attracted to, right? You're going to show up, like this brother said, as a man. A man is a man is a man. Just like a writer and a writer, unless they write, right? A provider and a provider, unless he provides. If he ain't got a woman, he got to be providing for himself. That's how you're going to get a woman who's looking for a provider. So yeah, there's some truth to a woman showing up half naked, being out for sex. We're not going to ignore that there are opportunists. But this is why I cancel the labels, because if she a hoe, you a hoe too. So why are we coming to the table for sex? You don't have to do that. You ain't got to date for sex. You can swipe left or right. You know what I'm saying? But we're showing up in the dating scene, right? Not looking for relationships, not looking for marriage. We're looking for a hookup. And that is the problem. And when you find your hookup, because I got to be better than you, I'm going to call you a hoe. We don't live in that world no more.
What's wrong with people dating and finding hookups and they honest about it?
Ain't
Nobody
wrong
said
with it.
anything is
the
wrong
problem
with that.
the problem is when people date and they lie and say they want relationships and they don't to get what they want.
Well, that's all has
that's
to
the
do with
problem.
your idea. If you're
Yeah.
showing up with the mind frame that this person just wants to have sex, but yet you have sex with her and she mad because you didn't call, did she really just want sex? Just because she gave you sex doesn't mean that's all she came to the table with. But you are so attached to that idea, you've already moved on.
That's true.
That's why I said people are not loyal to people; they are loyal to ideas.
And they
That's
subscribe
Unless
to
we
these
change those
ideas.
ideas, you're not going to affect change on a broad scale. But you can affect change in your life by being that man. The brother said, "I'm a man everywhere I go." I'm the same way. I'm a woman everywhere I go. So people will automatically submit to that. I don't have men walking up to me offering me dick everywhere I go, because they can read that that's not what I'm here for. But that's not going to be every woman. If you come into to the table for a relationship, there's going to be work. And that's what men are afraid of, the work part. They want what's easy.
Well, I don't think men are afraid. It's just so nowadays we don't have to commit to get what we want. And women have made it easier for us to get what we want without commitment.
That ain't
I
true.
definitely can't.
It get
I
easier
definitely
by the
can't say.
day.
I'm
I
just
can't.
being
I
honest with
can't
you.
say.
I
I
now-
can't say.
now, I
I
will
can't say
say-
men.
Now, I
I can't
will
say
say,
men because women.
the real women that do want the real relationships, you're gonna have to put work in for those women. And a lot of times, what men do, they know they can't get what they want. They just leave it alone, go to the next one.
Well, that's what I just
Yeah,
That's
you know
what
what
she
I'm
just
saying.
said.
And-
That's
and-
what she mean
But
by saying
women
the
have made
idea.
it easier for men to get sex, so we don't have to commit a lot of
but
times.
not a
We don't.
relationship. The
Just being
table
honest.
turned. It used to be the man came for just sex. Now,
Yeah, now it's the woman.
some of these
That's
women.
fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know.
So now they
we ain't
can't
got a
be
problem
hoes.
with
You
it.
don't
You
need
was
to commit
hoes.
to everybody. You don't need to
Which-
commit to everybody you meet. This is not a committing world anymore. We don't.
You
You don't
only
need.
need one.
You don't need to, because some of these people got demons and
No,
past.
wait a minute, James.
You don't commit to everybody.
James, Russell Wilson should have got that ass from Sierra and left her alone. But now he done made kids with her. She gonna embarrass his kids trying to be a whore.
And they
You
gonna
keep coming. You keep coming at her like she's any difference of a whore than fucking Future's
All right,
little
hold
bitch
on, y'all.
ass.
This lady got
Oh
she
my God.
lady died at the bottom. Got a question. She been waiting patiently. Go ahead. This is a good conversation though. I'm loving this show. Go ahead, lady. Di.
There's a few things. So
Go ahead.
the question is, if let's say we're talking about profiling, right? If I know that I'm just speaking for the profiling aspect. If I know if I wear an outfit that's very revealing, I'm not talking about you sneaking a little bit of whatever. I'm talking about it's completely revealing. I know when I walk outside that I'm going to get plenty of attention, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that I'm going to be classified as such, just like a man. He's going to be classified as such if he wears, let's say, a do-rag, baggy clothes, and big chains or whatever. He's going to be classified as a hood dude, right? If that's the case, and we can't change what is being looked at, right? That's just how it's going to be. There's nothing we could do about that. Why would someone want to walk outside like that, knowing that if they're single? See, if you're in a relationship and you and your partner is okay with that, then you're okay with that. And that's something that y'all got to deal with together. But as a single person, you walk outside trying to, be seen or whatever the case is, so you could, get a man or get a lady. But if you walk outside, they're going to look at you a certain way because you got all of this ass out, right? You got the booty Daisy Dukes on and all that type of stuff. And you expect a man, for example, to take you seriously, to look at you as a wife. Why would you walk outside knowing that you're single? Okay. We're talking about you being single and thinking you're going to get the good man that you want.
Popular opinion.
Why would you walk outside like that? That's a real question. Why would you walk outside?
They don't respect
knowing that you're all type of guys.
Let the ladies up here go first, then the guys.
You're gonna pull the dude that don't want you at all. He just wants you for what he's looking at. And then you may not probably pull the guy that wants a wife because he's not gonna look at you. He's gonna be like, oh, she looks just like the hoe that I seen the other day, right? So what I'm saying, before you answer that, but what I'm saying is, if these type of clothes is looking like prostitute-ish, because prostitutes actually wear clothes like that when they're on the street. If you look outside, or I don't know where y'all from, but if you try to go into a space, they actually look like this. So now you look like them. Unfortunately, that's what it is. You just look like them. You can't change that. They still look right. So why would you look like that and say it's okay and accept me for who I am?
Go ahead.
Because I am, my mind and who I am is not my clothes.
They don't know that. They don't know that though. I get what you're saying.
But that's then that the man who judges me based on my clothes and who doesn't take the time to get to know my mind, he's just not the man for me, and that's gonna be his loss.
That's not
true. And if you say I'm single today, and then maybe later I'll have a relationship, I'm gonna definitely wear them Daisy Dukes while I'm single, and I ain't gotta talk to my man about how he feel. I'm gonna put it on. Because I want to make me happy and celebrate my body. It's not about how he feel. I want to feel sexy tonight. And if somebody finds me sexy and we link up, that's cool. But I'm not making my decisions based on he's gonna think I'm a whore. I don't care if he thinks I'm a whore. He's about to miss out on the rawest woman he can have. I don't care.
You're missing out on him. You're looking at it the wrong way. Look at it the other way. You're not the one that's trying to consume, right? You're the one walking. The guy has to come and pick or find you, right? I'm just
the women actually are the choosers. The women in my world actually have the power.
I mean, I got my man from me saying something. I get what you're saying, but it's not always like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the one that's going out, because naturally men are going to come and pick you before you pick them. I'm just saying that's just how it is. So if you are going out there looking like that, you're like literally cutting your pool in half. You're missing out on guys that you could be with, even though your heart and your mind isn't what you look like. I get that, because there are ladies that actually dress a certain way and they're nothing like what they're wearing. I have friends and family the same way. But I'm saying that when you're outside, these guys don't know that. They have a right to obviously look at you and be like, nah, she looks like the girl that's on the street. I'm not comfortable with going to her because I'm not sure. I don't even want to talk to her because how she looks. I'm talking about super revealing. So it's like they're not missing out. I think you guys will be missing out, or not you per se. I'm just saying in general. You will be missing out because you're missing out on these guys that really want to take a lady serious. But when they see you wearing that, they're like, well, I can't take her serious because she looks like these ladies. I'm confused. Can
I say something?
I think that
these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
say something?
Before
wait. A lot of women say this stuff. They don't even do this shit. They be saying this stuff and don't even do this shit. And that would mess everything up. They say, I do what I want to do. No, you don't. They say all of this stuff and don't even do it. And the younger girls looking up this shit, I want to be just like her. And she ain't even like that. That is the problem that we having. A lot of I would have wore what Sierra wore. No, you wouldn't. If you was married, you would have wore that. Yeah, I sure would. And the same woman that said that shit to me, she got kids and she would have never been seen. Look, Snoop Dogg wife don't be wearing no shit like that. And all he talk about is hoes and tricks. And when he got that carpet with a hoe, he go find one. He don't bring Shantae ass. He go find a hoe to walk that carpet with that hair.
He's still doing. He had the dog paint on him. You damn. Go ahead, Tanisha. I want Tanisha and Sonya to go. Jen Jonathan, I'm coming to you. Go ahead, Tanisha.
My
answer is simple. The question is why? Why does a woman who dressed like that believe that she's going to pull somebody who's actually going to love her and take care of her and provide security and all of those things? The reason is because, and this is the bigger conversation, but when you talk about masculine and feminine energy, right? The feminine energy is imagination. The masculine energy is logic, which means that a woman is full of feminine energy when it's not balanced with masculinity and femininity, right? So what is imagination? Imagination is that I can do whatever I want and be whomever I want and get everything that I want. That's imagination. There's a lot of women out here who are using that imagination to make a whole lot of money. So for them, right, it makes sense. But you and I both know that that's not logic, right? You're going to get the bait that you put out, right? So the problem is there are actually men who are pulling these women in. So you can't tell them that they cannot get a man. But logic says you're not going to get the man that you set out to get because you are offering the wrong bait, right? So when the masculine and feminine energy is out of balance, because someone said it's about masculine and feminine energy earlier, we are both male and female. We both have access. We're both made up of masculine and feminine energy. That's why there are men who can be wonderful fathers to little girls. That's why there are men who identify the worth of a woman and can, be with her and understand her. That's that feminine energy. But when it is out of balance, right, you will get some really creative ideas, and that's one of them, right?
Well,
what we think is protection, we overindulge in, and so that is one of the most greatest examples of a woman dressed, very provocatively thinking she's going to pull a man that's going to take care of her. Okay. That's all imagination, right?
Okay, let me say something. Wait.
That has nothing to do with the question, though. I understand what you're saying.
It had everything to do
breaking it down in that way. I get that, but in reality, but it still doesn't change, right? I get what you're saying. It's not going to change what is profiled as. That doesn't change that. It's going to stay that way. Why? Because prostitutes are still out on the street. Why? Because there are actual 304s that really just want to have sex and they're going to wear those clothes. It's going to stay like that. That's not, and if that changes, then yeah, but it's not going to change. They are there for that particular reason to do that particular job. Just like the hood dudes out on the street. I was in the hood too. They going to still be the ones that don't change. They're still going to be out there doing these type of things. These things are actual facts. It's not going to change. So I get the idea of what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. But at the same time, you're still going to walk outside. I'm just using ladies as an example. You're still going to walk outside and your list is going to get cut in half, literally because of what you look like. No man has to come. I'm just saying, if you want a quality man, no man's going to come up to you looking like that and expect you going to be a wife. Even though he give you the benefit of doubt. Yeah, he can.
The reason you can't sell that idea, though, is because I only need one man.
It don't matter if you need one man. You got to get the right one. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Hold on. We're getting men that don't want. Hold on 1 second. We're getting men. I've been in failed relationships before. Okay. We've been in relationships where that shit does not work out. Why? Because it's certain. I'm not saying just because I wore this outfit, I got this pool of guy. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying in general. We're tired of getting failed relationships. I want to get a quality man. Well, how about let me change the way I look? Let me look a little bit more modest. I'm not saying you have to look like grandma. I ain't saying that. When you get with your man, y'all discuss what you're wearing and how you're gonna do that respectfully. All right, you're not gonna have a man control every single thing you do, but you still have to have respect to the person that you're with. So if I'm my husband, I'm gonna say, hey, I don't want you to wear that. Guess what he's not gonna do? He's not gonna wear that. If he say, I don't want you to wear this, guess what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna wear it because it's called respect. It has to be a valid ass reason. I'm not gonna get with somebody that's crazy that's having me not wear something because his own ego. That makes no sense. I would never do that. It has to be a valid ass reason why you don't want me wearing it. Now, if you say, hey, I don't want you wearing this because you're gonna attract these type of dudes and I'm gonna have to fight their ass or shoot their ass because your ass is out, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have an attitude though. I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off, but I'm gonna you know what? You right.
I agree.
Let me
agree.
change my second outfit.
That makes sense.
Once you wearing these goddamn sweatpants and you're showing the imprint of your dick, right? You gonna change that shit because I don't want to be fighting those stupid ass girls coming to you. I gotta fight them anyway.
But you're coming from
now I gotta fight because your dick is showing. Change the outfit.
Okay.
Can I say something?
No, hold on.
You
Hey,
are
let's
speaking from the
respect.
aspect of a woman inside of a relationship, but you're asking a question about a single woman.
But
So
you
again,
talk
the
about
reason
relationship
why,
getting in one. You said you
Hold
can
on,
still get a
hold
man.
on,
That's why I
hold
said
on,
that.
Queen, at the bottom. Go ahead.
again, the reason why a woman would present herself this way is because of her imagination. Now, if she is all feminine energy and no logic, right? Which a lot of these women are, and guess what? It's lucrative, right? Because sex sells, right? That's the imagination, the sex, right? These men know they can't have sex with women on TV, but it appeals to them. That's imagination, okay? You're talking about a woman in a relationship, which means that whatever whatever feminine energy she has, it's being balanced by a partner, which is a male. That's why your man can tell you what to do. That's why his logic will make sense to you. So you can't expect a single woman to operate like a woman that is in a relationship.
But
So you
that's
can't.
how it starts, though.
You would
It
do it,
starts like that.
right?
No, I
But
get that. It starts.
If
Wait,
you
hold on.
marry a
I want to
whore,
clarify this real quick. It
you
does
can't
start.
satisfy
So
her
I
with a
did
wife
start.
setting. You
I
can't
did start
satisfy a
saying.
whore with a wife setting. You can try, and she gonna sabotage that shit, and
have
you
you
gonna be in
ever heard a
divorce
woman
court.
say, "I did what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it until
Exactly,
I
a
met
whore.
my husband"?
Wait, hold on. I heard you.
And it didn't last. See,
Clarify what
There
I
is a
mean.
reason
that
for
shit did
that.
not last.
I understand what you're saying. I was talking about
Like
in a relationship because we were talking about I could get a man, right? But before she gets the man, there are guys that you date that would say, they would tell you, you don't have to be with them like in a relationship. They'll say, hey, I don't like that outfit, or that's too revealing, and they'll explain it. I've seen that too. It's not just in a relationship, it's outside of the relationship. They want to make
I'm
sure
not
that
ignoring that.
You're what?
I'm not ignoring that, but you weren't here when I said your influence on a person has to deal with the relationship. Your question was, why would I dress like that if I'm looking for a relationship, right? So you talk about a single woman.
Yeah, serious
right.
one.
The reason why is because sex sells, and that has worked for me so far. A lot of women don't even know. They come to the table for a relationship thinking that they have to give sex. That's why I said accountability is an assumed awareness. All women don't understand that they can withhold sex and still have a great relationship. And I'm not talking about a 90-day, 60-day rule. I'm talking about not lead with sex. I don't have a problem with the first date or the third date or wherever you want to have sex, but there is a rhyme or reason, right? And it has nothing to do with labels. It has nothing to do with the way the person dressed. It has everything to do with somebody coming to the table with their wants and needs and sticking to them. Like the brother said, showing up as yourself. That's all you can do. Right? And be willing to walk away. That is what's needed. It's not about what I have on. It's the understanding, right?
Can I say something?
What I came for. That's the results that you need.
Nah, it is. For ladies, it is what you have on.
It is. You trying to feed a damn lion a salad.
Right before you go,
no lion, no salad.
Right before Jonathan go, let me get Sonya being up in that corner quiet.
Listen. They trying to feed a lion a salad. You can't do that shit. Okay, let me tell you something. And I'm telling this to the black man. I'm not speaking to no black woman or none of that shit. I'm talking to the black man. Look, you can marry these whores and keep getting these whores and think they gonna change. They not gonna change. They gonna sabotage the marriage. They gonna embarrass your kids. And when you ask them why, they gonna start crying. They don't know why. Because something in them triggered them and turned them into a whore, and they ain't never fucking going back. So done.
Go ahead.
Try it. Don't believe what I said. Try the shit.
Sonya, then Jonathan. Go ahead.
Now for ladies, it's different. I had to separate because I could talk about a dude looking like a hood dude all day long, but we talking about sex right now. A guy looking like a hood dude, he could protect himself. We as females, we can't protect ourselves from these stupid ass pedophiles. That's what I'm saying.
I can.
You can? Okay, so if a guy like one y'all, some of y'all big as hell, I'm just saying, like a bodyguard type of dude.
Jonathan big, muscular.
That you're gonna be able to protect yourself. You're stronger than this man that's gonna come and attack you.
Protecting myself and being stronger than him is two different things. But I'm absolutely not gonna put myself in a position to where I'm gonna get in conflict with a big ass man.
Wearing the clothes.
That is how I
hold on. Wearing
myself.
those clothes. Wearing those clothes is gonna put you in a conflict with a man.
I don't dress up. So
why are you advocating for the? I'm sorry, I'm one of those that challenge people.
I'm not advocating for anybody.
Don't take me being disrespectful. I'm so sorry.
No, this is good for conversation.
Why would you advocate for a lady if you don't do it? Okay, why would you advocate for ladies that are doing it?
I'm advocating for them to do it You asked why. So I'm lending some
So you can't answer
understanding.
that question. I have to ask somebody that actually wear clothes like that. You won't be. That's
That's
like me
not
answering
true.
for.
I am lending some understanding as to why they do it, because I
How
was
do you
a girl.
know if you don't do it? You used to do it.
I was a girl, right? And I'm raising daughters. So if just because I don't do it, don't mean I can't rear my kids not to do it.
No, but
So
if
the
they was
idea
listening
that
to you-
I'm
hold on
not
now.
wearing provocative clothes and I can't tell you why they do is an idea that you are loyal to right now.
No,
But how can I
that's not
instruct
what
my
I'm
daughter?
saying. I'm saying you
How can
don't
I
wear
instruct my
it.
daughter if I
then-
don't know both sides?
But how? Okay, I get what you're saying. I understand. As a parent, I understand what you're saying. We have to learn the ways of other people that we don't want our kids to be like. I definitely get that. But at the same time, like I would have never knew how you're talking right now. I would have never knew that you didn't wear that because how strong you're advocating it for. I
That's
cannot
because you are
advocate.
tied to the
Exactly.
idea.
That's what I said
No,
in the
it's
first
not,
place.
not tied to.
That's exactly
You
what I
are
said.
tied to the idea.
Hold on. The only person talking is you. I didn't see nobody else on here. Even Bree, I believe she says a few things, right? But you're the only one that has the strong ass opinion. And it's making me think that you wearing these clothes. You understand? It's not like you already said you don't. I get that.
So
But how
because my
you're coming
opinions
is
are strong, you're
advocacy.
assuming that I dress that way.
I think you're all right over there.
I'm just looking at. I don't know everybody on here. Okay, I can understand for why certain people on here said what they said, but I don't know you. Okay, so if I'm looking at you, I have never seen you. I've never seen your pictures. You would confuse the hell out of me, and you seem like you're advocating for women dressing like that, and you don't dress like that. That's weird to me.
But I never said that. So that's
so
an
many
idea you
women.
I get
subscribe
what
to.
you said. I get
There's
what
so
you said about
many
the
women in
parenting.
America that
Let's
does
do
that.
one at
I
a
get what
time.
you
About
said
things
about
they
the
don't even do.
parenting.
I don't know
Hold on, I
what
get
I
what you
can
said
talk.
about the parenting, but ain't no kids on this panel right now. Me and you are talking as women to women. We're adults. So you're advocating for a behavior, right, that you don't even agree with.
You feel like I'm advocating for behavior, but I'm not. I'm in the conversation like everybody else, lending an understanding of a point of view that is not mine.
Yeah, I don't do that type of stuff. So that's why it's confusing to me. I don't advocate for something that
What
I don't
about
agree.
me?
I can never give you a full understanding of some shit I never did. That's
Well,
just me.
you
For
limited
example.
yourself
Being a
because
parent is different.
but you're limiting yourself because here's the thing: I have to teach boys and I have to teach girls, so I have to know the ins and outs, even if I don't prefer to live my life that way. I've been a little girl once. I saw the beginning and the end of girls who were promiscuous. Whether I chose to or not, I know how to rear my children because I consider lifestyles. I consider the whys behind action. And that's what's good for a conversation. I can't come to a conversation and only bring my story. I haven't said anything about Tanisha, not one time.
I got you.
People who assume and label, it means that you are tied to some ideas that are in your head, which is okay, because we all have those ideas, right? But when we come to conversations, we have to be willing to put our ideas down and consider something else, even if at the end of the day we don't buy it.
No, I get that, but that's as a parent. But that's what I'm saying. I do that as a parent. Exactly what you're saying. I do that. But when I talk to an adult, I would never, me personally, I would never like give an opinion on what we believe. I've seen ladies too. I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, I can't fully tell someone else what they fully think like if I've never actually done it. I think that's disingenuous in a way. Not that you per se, I understand why you're doing it. I get that.
You're limiting yourself, though, is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. I don't. If I don't,
you can't speak for individual people.
Do
but there is something called psychology. There is human nature. Those things do exist. And if you look at what I'm saying, we can all agree that we see those things in society. Yeah. And again, I haven't said not one time that I'm the one doing it. So
no,
there
is some. I said it may seem like you were. I didn't say you were. I remember I'd never seen you. That's an assumption. But what I'm saying is, I get what you're saying, but. Okay, if we were talking, let me change it. If we were talking about grape, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We were talking about grape. I can't see, even though you could have seen it, you could have been, that happened to you, whatever. We cannot sit here and talk about this is exactly why they do it. And
but
we're
that's a different
conversation.
conversation. I wouldn't do that. That's
of course you wouldn't. That's the point. You're not, because that would be weird. You're not going to advocate for something you don't believe in, and you do not do.
Okay, let me say this. It's not that she's advocating what I was listening to both of you. This is her perspective is I can wear something revealing and that doesn't mean that I'm giving you sex. I'm wearing it because I'm sexy and it makes me feel good. Your point of view is I'm wearing something revealing because I want attention. So I understand where both of you are coming from. That was her perspective. She wasn't advocating. She just saying, just because I wear this, I want to feel good. I look sexy. That don't mean
Because she
I'm
asked
looking
why.
for sex.
But
That makes sense.
I'm
But
only
let me
asking
get.
people why that done it. I don't want to.
That's
I would
because
never
you
talk.
ain't
have
doing
in
it
your
though.
That's
mind
why I
that
thought
I
you was
can't.
asking
I
answering.
told you that, so she would never do that. She a
Because
lady.
you have it in your mind that I can't answer if I don't do it. And I said
No,
that
You
because I don't
that's
want
can't.
to hear your
limitation.
opinion. Because I wouldn't
You
want to hear.
cannot answer something you don't do. I'm
That's
just
I
saying
wouldn't
that.
want.
Let me
I
get
If
wouldn't
she a
want to hear.
lady, that's
Be
good
real.
that you
I
don't
wouldn't
do
want to
that
it.
hear your opinion if you never done it. I'm just being real
that's a
with you.
limitation that you put on yourself. But that's
No, that's
fine.
that's no,
Because
that's
That's
reality.
our
Why would I talk?
problem.
Why would I
That's
talk to
wait,
you
wait,
if
wait,
you've
wait, wait,
never
wait,
done
wait,
it?
wait.
I have the
James, let
same
me say
ideas
something.
as you. I walk around and see ladies do this all the time. I
I
can see
know.
exactly how they doing it. So I'm not gonna ask you for something that I already know. Me and you thinking the same thing. I'm gonna
we
ask
see the
somebody else
same
to get.
thing, but we
No,
don't have the understanding of
no,
the
that's
same
not what I'm
thing.
saying. Hold on. I'm saying that I'd rather get an actual answer for someone that's actually doing it so I can have a better understanding on what I'm saying and what I think. I want to get an actual reason from someone that's doing it because that's a better understanding. I could assume and
That
think
is
all
an
day.
idea
You know what
that
I'm
you
saying?
have subscribed to and you're loyal to it. So that's fine. Maybe I just can't
No,
answer
I
that for
said
you.
no, that's not what I said. I said I want to get the idea from someone that's doing it. That means that they do it. They could tell me why they're doing it. That means that that's a fact, right? In a way. I can't get if I don't do it, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is exactly what it is, and I've never done it. That's not an
Exactly.
actual fact. That's weird. You get it from the person, the source. So if I was asking a question, I'm asking it for who it's addressed to. So when you answered it, of course I'm gonna assume
You
that
asked me.
I didn't ask you. I didn't know your name. I didn't
My
ask you.
bad.
Yeah, I didn't
I
ask
thought
you.
you said women on the panel. My bad. Let me shut up.
All right,
Hey,
Sonya.
James,
Let me hear from Sonya.
James. Wait a minute, James. That's
Let
what I
me shut
always
up.
say.
I
So
want to hear.
many
What
women.
about me? I've been waiting for
I
an
know.
hour.
All right, go ahead.
Hold
Go ahead.
on.
The corner.
Because
No, Sonya's been quiet in the corner. Let Sonya get the floor. Then you, Jonathan. Let Sonya get the floor. She's
can
been
I just
quiet.
say I don't know who she was talking to because the woman above us, the woman with the gentleman has a man, and Sonya is my cousin, so she don't dress provocative either. So I don't
That's
know who.
why she ain't talk. That's why she didn't. I'm sorry. I don't
That
want
ain't because she ain't talk. It's
to
because
assume. That's why you didn't speak.
I
There's
ain't-
no way she's gonna sit here
I
and tell me why somebody else that's dressing like that is dressing like that. That would be.
But who you gonna
give me
ask
the same
on this
idea that
panel
I
is what
have.
I'm saying.
She could
The
give me
way
the same
Sonya
idea that I
looking-
have, but how the hell she gonna answer the question?
You
Sonya
don't know
looking like
that.
I
ain't coming back
think
on this show.
this is why they're doing it.
The fact that you feel like I can't lend to the conversation because I'm not dressing promiscuous is crazy. That's an idea that you've subscribed to. Like I said, people are loyal to ideas and not people.
No, you
That's
don't
what
have
I've
to throw
been
those
saying,
terms.
though.
You ain't gotta throw
James,
those
I've
terms
been
at me.
saying that.
It is what it is. If
I've
you don't
been
wear it,
saying
don't
that.
answer it.
Women be talking about shit they don't even do.
That's what I'm
And I don't
saying.
know why
I
they
don't
think
do all that.
I don't
It's
know why they
good for
think
the
they do
show.
that. I don't know why they gotta do that. I don't talk about doing bad things. I don't do bad things. I don't talk about being an astronaut. I never been to the moon. I never left the planet. I can't talk about it. I don't know what that feels like. But so many women, they are so used to doing it. It's almost
Listen.
being like the way they have conversations.
I was
about shit
invited
they
to
never
a
done.
podcast
It's
just like
just a
everybody
show.
else.
All right, let's be fair. Humans do that in general.
Yeah.
We
Come
already
on.
established that
Somebody with some
Future
life.
raps about taking pills and doing drugs and
That's
shit,
why
and
he
he
Y'all,
don't
his
even
claim
do
that
that.
the men y'all talking about don't live the life they live.
Yeah,
But I
they
can't.
be
I
lying.
can't do it positivity, but people can do it negatively.
No,
Okay.
that's y'all. I just said me personally,
Okay.
I don't do
So
that.
that's
Now,
going to be a productive conversation in
I
the
just
community.
joined the
So go
conversation,
ahead.
and I'm just saying, hey, I
Oh shit.
cannot do that. I don't think that that's a fair answer.
And that's you.
Me and you could assume the same
I
damn
respect that.
thing, but
Oh,
it's
that's
still
good.
not giving me clarity on why there are ladies doing what they're doing. Respectfully, I respect everybody. Sorry if I'm coming off very strong.
It's
It's
good
just
for
that
conversation.
this is
No, that's
a
good stuff.
healthy
Good stuff.
debate. Okay.
Let Jonathan talk. He ain't said nothing.
Before Jonathan shoots somebody, Sonya, go
Jonathan
ahead.
going through it over there. Let him
Go ahead,
talk.
Sonya. Let Sonya, because she's been patient.
Well,
Next, Jonathan, go ahead, Sonya.
well, for one, I'm not gonna talk over anybody. I'm gonna wait until it's my turn to talk because I don't believe in talking over people. The other thing is I'm not gonna go back and forth and argue. What I will say is in my younger day as a model, I did wear some clothes that could be assumed to be a little provocative, but that was the industry that I was in. The mindset wasn't to attract men for a personal reason. It was just I was in the entertainment industry, and that's the way that we dressed most of the time. Now, also being a young lady and being raised to be a young lady, anything that I wore, even if it was slightly revealing, had class and taste to it. So I was not walking down the street looking like the woman that is on the street. It's a difference between being provocative and being sexy. So anything that I wore was more sexy and classy versus provocative. So I really can't speak to why women do that, because my reason and their reason is two different reasons. I was in the entertainment industry, so that was acceptable as an entertainer. And because I already had a lot of attention, it didn't bother me to get the attention.
Right.
But even then, men did not approach me. They didn't approach me. I don't know if it was because they weren't intimidated, or maybe I wasn't approachable, and it didn't bother me at all. And most of the time I already had someone in my life. But again, I can't speak to that because I don't dress like that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And
All right, Jonathan.
there's
go
similar
ahead.
stories. I used to model as well, so I know exactly what you're saying about the sexy and classy thing. Yeah, I agree.
All right, Jonathan.
So I just want to bring up a couple points. Like, for one, if my woman was wearing something provocative and I'm there, I wouldn't have a problem with it. And it's a couple reasons why. Number one, I don't get disrespected in public. And it's not just because of who I am, it's just how I carry myself. And I don't know if it's my masculinity or how I look at people or how I interact with my women. It's just that it doesn't happen. Like, you're not going to just come up to her and just be like, oh, you're not going to do that. And see, a lot of the problem is there's a term that I really don't like to use, because I don't like to use it either way, with the femininity of men and the masculinity of women. But there are a whole lot of feminine men out there that have this issue, because as men, we know when you soft as shit. So if I think that I can beat your ass, I might just take the opportunity to try and holler at your chick, because I know there ain't shit you're gonna be able to do. So what? the other, it's just the truth. That's just the way
that's
men
some real
are.
shit.
It's real.
That's just the way men are. If I think that I can take your women from you, I'm gonna do it, and there's nothing that you can do about it, because at the end of the day, I've accomplished what I came out there to do, and I knew that you weren't gonna do nothing, be able to do nothing about it, because I'm a man, and we can sense that about men. That's just a man thing. On the other side of it, on this profiling thing, I have had numerous people tell me, you need to change the way that you talk on your podcast. You need to talk nicer to people. You need to wear a suit and tie and sit there. James, we had this conversation. You need to wear a suit and tie and sit there and talk to people nice and cross your leg. And you need to do these things. This is coming from actual people who actually do podcasts. My thing with that is this. I am a masculine man. I'm a very masculine man. Let some people tell it. And I am not willing to do anything that takes away from who I am. If you cannot accept me, because this is the thing, if you weren't looking at me and you just heard me talk, you might think that I'm sitting there with a suit and tie on and a glass of wine. So what difference does it make what I put on? As me coming to a woman, I do not really, and I'm a people watcher, mind you. When I look at a woman, it's not just about what she has on. It's about how she carries herself with it on. A woman could have her ass cheeks out and half naked, but she could carry herself in a classful, tasteful way. There are ratchet ass women, and we see them all the time. Especially if you go to Walmart, you say, "Oh, girl, I don't want to deal with your weak ass." Like, you're weak because you do dumbass shit like that. You want to carry your little fake ass purse on your elbow and walk around with your little bobby ass weave on. That's not classful to me. What I'm looking at is the whole picture. Like, you could be asshole butt ass naked and you can still have class about yourself. And there are a lot of women that don't have that, but there are a lot of women that do have that. And that is approachable because of what you have on, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself. We can look at the platter at a restaurant. If I'm going to a 5-star restaurant, I expect 5-star plate. I don't expect a half-ass lopsided Big Mac that I'm going to get from the store, because that's not what I came for. If I'm coming to a woman, I'm looking at the presentation of how she's presenting herself, not exactly for what she has on, because that does not determine who the woman is. So
That's
a
conversation. That's a conversation starter for me, because we can look at it in the used car aspect. I could go to a used car dealership right now and be like, damn, that shit fucked up, because it ain't been washed. It's been sitting there for a while, but I don't see the inner beauty in the vehicle. I ain't seen the guts of it. I ain't opened up the hood of it. I just looked at what that vehicle looks like. I'm gonna just give this one last example, and I'm done with my examples. I've used this before, but I was out one day, and where I live is on the main corner, so I just happened to walk across the street just to go to the store and walk back. But my homeboy was standing at the bus stop and shit, and I was on my way over there to talk to him to see if he needed a ride, because I seen him at the bus stop. But it was this car, little shit bag of a car too. I think it was like an old ass Ford Escort with this fat ass bald headed chick sitting in the fucking passenger side. She trying to clown my dude and shit, like, oh, look at these niggas with this shit on, like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers got brand new Jordans and jeans on and shit at the bus stop with an iPhone 14. I actually know this nigga. He got a brand new fucking car at home, got a brand new fucking house at home. So when I seen him, I went over there like, bro, you need a ride? Couldn't get an Uber in time. Uber was too fucking expensive. He didn't want to pay the $45 to go down the street. So he decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and take the bus. I'm going right down the street. So this is the profiling aspect that we deal with, especially in the Black community, because we think everything is supposed to be popping. So it's the same way when I was dealing with my son and we was at Easton and there was this Ferrari, black Ferrari parked out in front of Panera. It's a dude walking down the street with golds in his mouth, with jewelry on, swinging and shit like this. My son was like, yeah, I bet that's his car. I was like, that ain't his motherfucking car. That nigga's broke as fuck. He can't afford that shit. He was like, well, whose car you think it is? I said, I'm gonna tell you. Old ass white man with a fucking wife beater on and some cut off fucking shorts and some flip flops jumped in that fucking car. So it's all about profiling and the mentality and how you view that person behind what they have on, because what they have on does not determine who the human being is. That's just all I want to say.
No, I agree to that. I was just saying for a lady, I didn't speak about the man because y'all could defend and protect yourself. I'm just saying that there are a lot of creeps out here that look at ladies with these outfits and they want to, attack. So in a protection aspect, and this has nothing to do with men, because y'all can handle y'all. But as a female, like, I'm from the Bronx, so I see a lot of women all the time. And, I'm not really with, you wear this outfit and, he shouldn't attack me. We can't stop people that are crazy. So
well, we get the same thing as men though. Like,
of course,
women all the time sit up there and talk about dick pics, but the reason why men don't talk about the utmost titty pictures that we get that are unsolicited, pussy pictures that we get unsolicited, booty pictures that we get in our inbox unsolicited. The reason why people think like that is because men don't talk about that. Because if I call James and be like, man, James, man, I'm so motherfucking tired of these bitches sending me pussy pictures, you're gonna be like, man, you a whole ass nigga. What is wrong with you, man? Shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Men are just geared. We're geared totally different. So it's not about us defending ourselves. It's about the societal differences between men and women and how we talk and how we interact with people. And the other thing is a lot of times, and this is 2 points, there's a lot of times where men feed into you getting all these dick pics to your picture, like, oh yeah, men shouldn't do that. Shut up, you bitch ass niggas. You the same nigga to do this shit. The other aspect of it is this. You getting dick pics to your inbox and shit like that. It's so easy for you to shut the fuck up and not talk about it and just delete and move the fuck on like anybody else does. Why do you need to go to social media and talk to it? The reason why a lot of women are engaged like that is because at this point in society, it's so open for people to say shit to you. You don't have to walk up to somebody. You can get them on social media. You can find them on social media. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say to somebody because they can delete and block you or they can move on. That's the reason why it's so open now, because now people have took their nuts from Facebook and from Messenger and they use them in real life knowing damn well this ain't who they are, which brings me back to my point of Future. Future has a college degree. Future has a college degree. No, I'm not using it in this way. I'm just saying like this.
He loves some Future, though.
Future, I'm just using it because this is who we use.
I'm using Future because Future has a college degree. Nigga, you might smoke weed, but you ain't no dope boy. You ain't popping no pills. You ain't selling no drugs. You ain't doing none of this other shit. But the perception of Future when you see him is that, unless you really did your research and understand, nigga, you hold a college degree, which brings me back to my point on what I said before. Future does not have to do music because he holds a college degree. He could literally go out there and do anything that he wanted to do because he has the money that he holds. He chooses to be in the entertainment industry. He chooses to do this bullshit. He chooses not to take care of his kids when he clearly has other options. That is my point on perception and stuff like that. We're perceiving that Future's out there smoking big weed and smoking pack and selling drugs and all that other shit. But nigga, you really a feminine ass man and you really don't do this whole ass shit.
Now, how do we
That's
know
my thing on perception?
they're his kids? We only know he don't he don't take care of his kids from the women, but they keep having sex with them unprotectedly. It don't make sense. It's not adding up. So we can't.
He got the money to do it.
He
paying these chicks to do that shit though. He paying these chicks. He got money. He got
that makes him
$200
look
million.
bad. Then you can't talk bad about somebody that you know who they are and then complain about them.
It makes him look bad.
It makes you look.
Make him look.
You much as a deadbeat as he is, because instead of them having two parents, they only got one. That makes you look bad too.
And exactly, that's what I'm saying is we throwing stones at a glass window because at the end of the day, the women that do fuck with this nigga do the same shit. I'm just saying we can't say Sierra's a whore without saying this fuck nigga's a whore too. You can't say that this nigga's fake without saying that person's fake too, because at the end of the day, they're doing the same shit.
We got to get into the marriage material topic real quick. So I'm gonna start with Tanisha. Now this was his topic, actual material, and I think everybody's gonna have a different perspective on what actual is marriage material, and the reason why everybody gonna have a different perspective because we all like different type of people. So I'm gonna start with Tanisha. What is to you marriage material when you're looking for a man?
I think that you have me here because you understand that I don't do labels. I don't believe in marriage material being a thing, right? We are good bad behavior. I think we've already talked about this in a roundabout way. Marriage material is very much interpreted by the person who's looking for marriage, right? So marriage material, it would be, somebody responsible, somebody I can, number one, and this is the most important, communicate with, right? That is the key relationship, especially a marriage, because a marriage is a lifelong relationship of communication, because you don't literally control anything else, not your finances, not your physicality, not the way of the world. Like, communication has to be in the forefront. So if you're asking me which somebody would be marriage material for me, number one with communication. Everything else we could pretty much figure out. I can talk about whether he needs to be 6 foot and dark skin, or, have muscles or not. But at the core of it all, right, somebody that I'm gonna be in a marriage with is gonna be somebody I can communicate with.
Understood. What is marriage material, Sonia?
I could piggyback off of what she said because it's different for everybody. I don't think there's a set standard of what marriage material is. It's more about what you value. If your values align up with that person, if you're going not in the same direction, but on the same path to the same destination, because people can go in the same direction, but be going to different destinations. So
understood.
To her point, communication is key. It's important that you communicate, and it's important that you vet each other so that you can make sure that you're on the same page and that you're going to the same place. For me, I could honestly say that at one point in my life, I thought I was ready for marriage, but I didn't fully understand the responsibility of a wife. So that's something that I had to personally work on. I had to research. I had to listen to older people. I had to have conversations with people that had been married for years and understand that it's a sacrifice. Not only a sacrifice, it's a communication of understanding, and that it takes a lot of work. So at the age that I am now, I can honestly say that, yes, I would be ready for marriage now. But marriage material, that's just something that you would have to figure out for yourself. What is marriage material to you?
And I'm glad you two ladies gave me those. Before I get to you, Lady Diane, I'm gonna tell you where most men mess up. right, thinking they're marriage material. I used to think like this too, and I was an idiot for thinking like this, right? The top two reasons, this is what men think, the reason why they're marriage material. One, they're faithful, and two, they can provide financially. And there's more to it than that.
Absolutely.
And a lot of men think just because you can be faithful, keep your shit dick in your pants, and you can pay for everything, that you're gonna have a good wife. And that is not how it goes. You
No.
have to be the right man for the right woman. It can't just be I'm faithful and I can pay bills. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men fail to realize that they don't get to learn each woman. Like you said, you don't have a general understanding. I think most men have a general idea, oh, this is what I got to do. And that's wrong. So you made a good point by saying you don't have a general expectation. You just have your own expectation. And if more men actually thought like that and say, okay, well, this woman needs this for me to be marriage material, instead of coming in saying this is all I got to do, and they thinking that because I pay for everything and I don't cheat, I'm going to be a good husband. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big misconception. That's what I think.
I agree.
Lady Di, what is marriage material to you?
To me, is simply just commitment and sacrifice.
Okay.
Because even though all of the things that are in between that, so we're sorry, respect, commitment, and sacrifice, even though everything that's in between that, if you get someone that will divorce you because of they feel like it, then you don't want to be married to them. That's not marriage material. And I'm not talking about life-threatening situations, right? That's very different. But if you could find a life partner that is willing to do life with you the rest of your life, right? And they're going to be there with you through thick and thin, regardless of anything that come in between, regardless if it's not, as long as it's not life-threatening, then that is marriage material. Because a lot of situations that we've seen, people break up, they divorce, they don't care. They get remarried, do it again, break up, divorce. And it's like you just creating these bad habits and cycles. And now we got kids that are, in trauma from that. So, as long as you look at the whole entire picture, you have some logic to it, then I feel like that would be marriage material. And the first one for me is commitment. You're committed to me and only what we're doing as a married couple, then I'm all in it. And that's exactly what I look for marriage material.
Okay, I see Nisha's got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. Nisha, tell everybody where to follow you at because I love y'all podcast. And let me let everybody know, y'all know how much I like to talk. These two ladies right here are the only podcasters. I go to TikTok, I won't say a word, I just listen. They the first ones that got me quiet to where I just listen. Nobody's ever been able to do that. These are only two. We got about, ask Darius, me and Darius started this 2 years ago. We got over 200 episodes. I've never been quiet on no podcast ever. So, Nisha, tell them where to find you at.
We are Cousins Chat on TikTok. We come and our purpose is, and I'll let Sonia say her piece as well. But I've enjoyed my space and I've got to go. But our purpose is to build healthy relationships, and I think that we can do that by coming to the table and creating a space where we can all be heard and understood. And like me and the sis, we went back and forth, but there's no love lost. I have respect for your point of views. I've come to learn. I come to get something new every time. So I actually practice not being so rigid in my ideas, and that's what helps me. And so we come to spread positivity. If I can give you something to take back, great. But I always get something to take back, and I got something today. So I've enjoyed all of your input in my time here today. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm honored to be a part. Hopefully we can do it again. If you can do marriage material in one topic, please, because there's so many pieces to it, and it deserves its own hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good one, and I think we need to get those things and understand the different pieces of it to actually have a productive conversation. So I hope that you will do that and invite me back. Yes, Sonia is my cousin, and we have Cousin Chat. We changed it over 2 different days this week, but I'm sure she'll tell you about it. Again, I've enjoyed myself. Thank you all so much for what you've given me to take with me. And then I'll figure out to follow you and keep in touch.
We will. And you guys are, how many nights a week are you guys live on TikTok?
2.
2 nights? Okay. So I was telling Jonathan and Darius, they're both on TikTok. I'm going to have them follow you guys and come in the chat with you guys too, because I'll be on there with y'all at least once this week because I enjoy the show. And I appreciate you having you, Nisha. I know you got to go, but I got to get to the next guy. Science Madman. I gotta ask him what is marriage material to him. Y'all know his answer gonna be crazy. Go ahead. What is marriage material?
I can't find their TikTok. What is it?
So it's under cousins chat.
Cousins with an S. Okay.
It's not cousins. It's CUZZIN.
Got you.
Yeah.
If you can't find it, I'll send it to you tonight.
Okay.
But Cyan the Map. Let me get Cyan the Madman on what is marriage material.
Well, it's different for each individual. What I'm looking for is a woman with no kids and a woman that is willing to. I'm looking for no kids, and I think the marriage age is from 21 to 25 with no kids, and then the woman that don't believe in being faithful, and she'll appreciate the opportunity of life. Because when you get with a person that think it ain't no big deal or just a paper, you ain't gonna get shit. You just gonna have a person that is act like it's a normal thing. No, I want somebody to appreciate, because when I marry a person, when I was married, I appreciated the opportunity and I was able to fulfill the responsibility. And I want somebody that gonna be what they promised. I want them to tell me what they're gonna be and tell me how they want to be and how they want their future to be. And if their future lines with mine and I can fulfill, I can accept them. If they never change, I can accept this person. That's who I want to be. And I will never marry a woman that if I look at her and I don't want my daughter to be like her. I want to marry a woman that I look at her, I say, I want my just like this woman. You know, but my daughter needs like her mom and to be something like her mother. And if I marry a woman that's nothing, I marry a woman that I don't want my daughter to be like, I'm cutting that shit off.
You know what? Before I ask the next person, I gotta have you somebody come into these podcasts, because the look that you be having on your face, then you start laughing. I'm trying not to laugh, but
you talking about me?
The way you just be listening in your face, hey, this is priceless. This is priceless. Jonathan, what is marriage material? Can you hear me, Jonathan?
Who you said?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, go ahead. Give us your take on what is marriage material.
So for me, marriage material is different. I feel like I don't really care about the kids issue, because you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, I'll be 45 this year, and I feel like everybody is coming with a package. So I accept the package. You know what I'm saying? I got a child myself, even though he's not a child anymore, he's 19. At the end of the day, I accept that. What I look for is somebody that's healed mentally and physically and spiritually, that we can have mental growth together. Like, you know, it's always that common ground of like, where I'm weak, she makes me strong. Like, I might not know something about this, but she might. So it's my time to sit there and shut the fuck up and listen to what she got to say, because she can lead in that aspect. I feel like I can't be the leader in every situation, because some situations I might not be strong and she might be the stronger person and she might become the leader in that situation, because that's where she was strong at. And the reason I say that is because when I was in the service and I was married while I was in the service, my wife was the most phenomenal person when it came to finances. She can make everything. So it was easy for me to be like, hey, you do what the fuck you gotta do. Like, shit, I can't deal with this shit. You do it. I feel like as a mate, our job is to take stress off of each other. And that's what I look for. I look for somebody I can have a conversation with. We need to be able to talk intellectually with each other, as well as clown with each other, as well as be romantic with each other. But we first have to have a ground where we can talk and communicate and vibe, and everything is not about sex. It's about, you know, how we grow with each other. So I look for that. I also look for somebody that's going to carry themselves a certain kind of way. Like, it's not about what you wear. It's about how you wear it. It's not about what you wear. It's about how you do it. You know what I'm saying? How you carry yourself in public. Like, we're gonna when I look at things like that, I look at the fact that if my woman is attractive to me, she's gonna be attractive to somebody else. And if that's the case, then a man is gonna try and shoot his shot. It's not my point. It's not my job to get mad at that point. Like, I accept the fact that she's beautiful and you want to holler at her, but she ain't going. So, and I also look for the fact that I need a woman that's not going to be insecure. As a professional model, I'm around women all the time. I had a show yesterday. I had a rehearsal today. There's way more women models than there are men models. So if you cannot accept the fact that this is what I do, then we can't be together, because you cannot be insecure dealing in that type of environment, because there are beautiful women that you're going to be around. There are going to be women that want to talk to you. There are going to be women that have conversations with you. There are going to be all kinds of those aspects. So I don't need an insecure woman. And because on the flip side, I'm not an insecure man. I accept the fact that she's probably a beautiful woman. Men are going to try and holler at her. I accept that. It's about what you do in those situations.
Gotcha. Lady Di, I know you about to your take on marriage material. What is marriage material?
Oh, I had answered that question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got you already. My bad. Darius left. Okay. My bad. I thought I didn't get to you. All right. I appreciate everybody for
Is we
watching.
done?
Everybody on here has social media, so if you're in the comments, you got Sonya Rose. Go to TikTok.
Wait a minute, James.
What you get? I'm making announcements. I'm
Hey,
trying
Sonya, go ahead and tell her your platform.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay. She didn't tell her.
That's what I was. Wasn't I saying? Ain't that what I was doing? Sign the Madman, dating the mayor, support the bottom. Jonathan Ledfridge and our guests, go ahead and tell them where to find you.
Okay. Saying I was just gonna wait my turn.
Black folks, cut niggas off.
Well, we have a platform. It's for adult conversation. It's called Cousins Chat on TikTok. We go live on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. This is our new days from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Time. We have plenty of people that come and participate in the conversation. We love bringing people on the panel to share their perspectives on the topics. Again, they're adult conversations. We are sponsored by Compton & Co. Realty, which is a luxury realty here in Houston and in Dallas, Texas. They allow us to give away prizes and gifts. The last couple of gifts we gave away was a 4-day cruise and luxury cruise, and the other one was a 4-day stay in Las Vegas. We also give away small gifts, which is like Victoria's Secret's gift cards, Lowe's gift cards, Amazon gift cards, et cetera, et cetera. So if you get a chance to come in and join us and participate in the conversation, that would be great. We also sometimes have nights where we do adult exercises, such as we did a psychological test recently, and it was quite fun and it was very engaging, and it also opens up the door for other topics. So join us on the Cousins Chat again on Tuesday and Thursday nights. We'd love to see you there.
That's that link I just put in the comment section, and I posted. Y'all make sure you click on it and hit follow, and then you'll be also able to follow Tanisha's page on there, Nisha W on TikTok. Make sure y'all follow them. Dating the Mayor support Lady Di came in. She surprised me because she's so busy podcasting. I didn't expect to see her tonight, but she gave us a hell of a show. I appreciate that. Shout out to Jonathan down at the bottom. We about to get Jonathan up on TikTok because he got to get in them podcasts on TikTok because we be going hard on that. Me and Cyan, y'all know, me and Cyan, we get in the chat together on TikTok. You know we gonna get kicked out. I don't know how many rooms we done got kicked out now. They kicked me out more than him. He be like, James, be nice. Be like, nah, fuck them. I'm going in on their ass. Because you know what I don't like? I don't like podcasts with people and I can't say how I feel. Because I never tell people you can't say, I can't tell you.
Hold on, James. James, wait a minute. Let me say this before I forget.
Go ahead.
I need everybody to go get my album. It's called Cyan, The Beginning of the End. It's located on all streaming platforms. It's called Cyan. My name, Saen. The Beginning of the End. Go check it out. And follow me on TikTok, Saen, SAEN, on all media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Saen the Madman. That's SAEN, all together.
All right, I'm about to go
bad.
ahead. No, you aren't. There
My
it
phone
is.
about to die.
If y'all want to check his album out, the link, I just shared the link in the comment section. If y'all want to come podcast, hit me up on TikTok, on Facebook. Don't be scared. I hear y'all. I'm scared. Ain't nothing to be scared. Just express yourself. All right? And don't try to prove me wrong, and you'll be all right. So, we
You'll
get out
never
there.
get kicked off of ours.
Yeah, I don't kick people out. Me and Saen, we don't
get kicked off of ours.
I mean, I podcasted with Lady Di, me and her, even though we might not agree, she ain't never kicked me out. I never kicked her out. Me and Jonathan, we might not agree. And me and Saen, we'll argue on the phone for 3 hours. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We will. We argue about all, but we're not going to kick each other out. That's corny.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
don't do that.
You know, but I appreciate you being patient. And I know we was a little ratchet tonight, but this the hit show. You know?
No, we love it. I love it. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I enjoyed everybody's perspective and everybody's conversation.
Same here. Yeah.